on the Fan Sports Network.
All right, 6:02 in the Rose City. Time for Dirt and Sprague on Portland Sports Leader 105.1 The Fan and the Fan Sports Network. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hello.
What is happening?
Happy Lunar New Year, buddy.
Oh, it's a Lunar New Year today?
It is.
Look at us.
Yes,
What
it
is?
is.
I don't know what that means, but happy new Lunar New Year.
Well, it's a new moon.
It's a new moon.
Yeah.
We got. I mean, of course, it's
New
a new
moon, new you, new us.
That's what we do every year. I don't do New Year's resolutions. I do lunar moon resolutions.
There you go.
So now it all begins. Got to get in shape. Got to start taking things seriously.
I like that.
Now when my new me
Yes.
kicks in. First, 30-something days of the year, I don't need it. Lunar moon, new me, baby.
Are you very conditioned to the traditional time of our holidays to the point where if I was to ask you if you could change the holidays around to different months or dates, would you do it?
Ooh.
So famously, James Vanderbeek, R.I.P., by the way.
R.I.P.
By the way, is he in the Robert Duvall, Jesse Jackson Celebrity 3 category?
Is there another one that we don't know about?
Well, Jesse Jackson just died.
Just this morning, I know. I
so
saw
Jesse
that.
Jackson, Robert Duvall, James Vanderbeek.
Duvall was a big one this weekend.
Yeah.
There's nobody else that's rattling around in my head that's passed away in the last 2 weeks
So
of significance.
before Vanderbeek passed, he posted a video about like the harvest and the winter and the way it's all set up and how
Okay.
his point was he thinks the new year should be in like March.
I'm out on that.
You're out on that.
I don't think I'm changing any holidays. Now that you asked that, I'm thinking about when they all fall, and it's okay. I'm not opposed to any of it. I like where New Year's is at the end of December. Now, the only argument there is it too close to Christmas? Does it overshadow it because you got a big holiday, 6 days prior to it? But I'm okay. I'm okay putting it in that spot. And then I like having a break of no holidays for a while. Like, there's nothing that
well,
actually...
yeah, Valentine's Day.
I mean, it doesn't matter, right? Like, there's not a lot of holidays
it's a multi-billion-dollar
Sure,
holiday.
for a lot of people it is, but in my household, I don't even know if I told my wife Happy Valentine's Day, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, we went out on a dinner date. We had a delightful
Well,
time.
the big stretch
I don't
is-
think Happy Valentine's Day was even uttered in our household.
The big stretch is now, like after President's Weekend, in terms of actually getting a day off
Well, that's not, yeah, that's
President's
true.
Day.
See,
It's
I don't view
now
holidays of a day, I get that we get the day off.
until Memorial Day, into May.
Yes.
Easter.
There is Easter, but you don't get a day off
There
work
is
for
Easter.
You're
You
just
don't
talking about
get
work?
a day off. I'm talking about,
You
When
got
do I
a
get
problem.
a 3-day weekend?
Everything with him is just about work.
When do I get a 3-day weekend out of this?
Yeah.
Why don't we get a 3-day weekend for Easter? We should. 3-day weekends are great, man. I love them.
I tend to agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, the Sunday effect of not having to set a 4 a.m. alarm
That was
that night,
great.
it totally changes the enjoyment level of a Sunday.
well,
stayed up and watched a movie till 12:30.
Yeah, I was up super late.
we were up till 11:40. I can't speak for you guys. Yesterday in our neighborhood, at about 6:30,
Oh,
President's Day fireworks.
6:30 p.m.?
PM.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
okay. Was it dark enough?
That's a new one.
Yeah.
6:30
it
is
was
pretty dark.
It was dark.
Okay.
It was
I'm
dark.
not mad about
We
that's-
couldn't see him, though. We could only hear him.
hear the
It
popping.
was like random boom.
What the hell was that? Dogs freaking out.
What
out
was
of
going on
nowhere.
there?
Somebody's a big fan of Jefferson somewhere.
A lot of John Adams
I live in
fans out there.
Damascus. I don't know who they're a fan of. You know what I mean? That could range a lot of different ways.
Could be some big Andrew Johnson fans out there. You never know.
yeah.
You never know what they're
Bring
into.
it back!
Let's go, baby. That's weird. That's weird.
I thought it was really bizarre. It was
Of
like
all-
3 of them.
I've never. Yeah.
Of all the holidays that I could light off fireworks,
It's never happened before, ever since
I
we've
don't-
lived there.
President's Day's near the bottom of the list.
I
Yeah.
forget
4th
it's
of
a
July,
holiday.
firework number 1.
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, firework number 2. And then that's really it?
I'll give you a hot
And then
take.
Chinese New Year would be the next one.
Lunar New Year. buddy.
Lunar New Year.
Is that what it is?
Maybe they were doing it for Lunar New Year.
The
Maybe they
Chinese don't own the Lunar New Year.
Maybe they were
Oh, I didn't
celebrating
know if they-
Lunar New Year yesterday.
Slightly different days.
Oh, okay.
I think President's Day is the dumbest day.
It's
but
pretty
like,
dumb.
and I don't even know it's happening until someone's like, "Hey, don't come into work on Monday." I'm like, "Oh,
Oh, look at that.
that's right."
We got the day off.
Well, why is that a day off?
I don't know. Why are some a day off and others not? It doesn't really compute
Where's
in my head.
Congress Day?
Where-
Where's Senator's Day?
Can I give you a fun President's Day fact?
There's 3 levels of government here. Like, give me my branches days. You know what I mean? Like, let's branch off and get multiple days out of this.
I read about this every year, and every year it blows my mind, and I might have brought this up on the show before. Brought it up? Yeah. Do you know who John Tyler is?
President, right?
President.
Yeah.
Yes.
The 10th president of the United States.
There you
Yes.
go.
So 10th, long time ago, right?
Mhm.
Talking a long time ago.
2 first names.
Do you realize that John Tyler, the 10th president of the United States, had a living grandson until last May.
Oh, I think we did that once on a statter story.
I
or
love
something,
bringing
didn't
this
we?
up every President's Day because it blows my mind.
Because he had a kid at like 80, right?
So he had a kid in his 60s.
60s, that's what it was.
His son had a kid when he was in his 70s.
Right.
And that kid
Had a
lived
kid.
until the age of 96.
Yeah.
And he was alive
That's
until
crazy.
last May. So John Tyler was born during the George Washington presidency. That's when he was born.
I love presidential fun fact starts to the show.
Isn't that crazy? So he
That
was
is crazy.
born during the first presidential administration that we had, and his third generation of his family, his grandchild, lived all the way until the current administration.
So, okay, so his great-grandfather was
So
John Tyler?
No, his grandson.
Oh, okay.
So John Tyler had a kid in his
Gotcha,
60s.
gotcha.
His son had a kid in his
Yeah,
70s,
yeah.
and that kid lived until he was 96 and died last May.
Did John Tyler I almost called him Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas. We
Jonathan
forget.
Taylor
We
Thomas.
get them very confused from time to
A
time.
lot of young ladies wanted him to be president back in the 90s.
They did. Can anybody tell you anything about John Tyler? No, they can't, other than this fun fact.
So he was born during Washington's
He was born
administration?
when George
Do you
Washington
think
was
he had
president.
any memory of Washington, or was he not old enough? Because I don't know how old Washington was when he died.
That's a good question. Let me see. Was it like right off of the, right off the bat? Was he born at the very
'Cause-
back end of it? He was born in 1790.
Damn, that's crazy.
1790 to
That's
last
insane.
May.
That's insane.
3 generations of one family.
That's nuts.
So those guys are swimming late into their.
Yeah.
When was the first year of George Washington's presidency? Do you know that off the top of your head?
Come on, Swag. Come on, Riggins. Start off Tuesday with a bang.
Give me one.
1787.
Close. 1789.
Look at you. You almost
So
had
John Tyler was born 1 year into George Washington's presidency. So George Washington was no longer.
But he had to have been in public life in some way. Like some
He
newspaper
was-
had to have written about him. Washington goes out to Virginia.
Do you remember who the president was when you were 7?
Would have been. It would have been Clinton.
Would have been Clinton.
Yeah.
So you technically remember. So yeah,
I don't
mean,
remember the beginning of the
No,
presidency.
but you have vague memories of the Clinton administration, right?
My-
well, he also lasted longer than that.
My mom didn't really consume political radio or
Sure.
television at all. So my earliest Clinton memory,
Was it the flood?
it probably was the flood of '96.
Yeah, him coming
because my
out.
mom legitimately never watched
Like, dude, the president's in town. It's a
She'd
big
watch
deal.
like local news,
Right.
Fox 12, KGW. She'd watch all those
Get your
channels.
local stories in.
Yeah, she wasn't watching or listening to like specific propaganda channels.
Wasn't
or
quite as
radio.
big in the mid to early 90s either. There weren't a lot of those options out there. There was,
No.
just kind of news channels, and they'd give you the news.
My
every
uncle
night.
was the only my uncle on my little brother's side was the only one in my life that consumed any political based stuff when I was around. Like we'd get in his truck. I'm Paul Harvey. Good day. Like, oh,
who's this
guy talking about?
What are we listening to right now? All right, there you go. So yeah, I think I'm assuming if Washington's presidency ended when he was 7 years old, you got to have a vague memory of the presidency when you're
That's
7.
nuts, dude.
So he was alive enough to remember that.
That's
and
kind of cool and also like
insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
3 generations of one family. We've been, it's our 250th anniversary as a country.
I heard something
Are you
about
aware
that.
of this?
yeah.
The big 250.
The big birthday.
The big, what did you get for somebody's 250th birthday? We'll find
Yeah,
out.
I don't know.
But that's pretty remarkable to have 3 generations for 250 years.
Now, Swag, are you fixed?
Yes.
Okay. Say we could have
Can't
this
have-
experiment
yeah,
where
can't have
you
that
know.
one, yeah. But you didn't have a kid that old. How old were you when your son was born?
We were 30.
30s. That's not,
That's a good age.
That's a good
Great
age.
age.
I think 30 to 32 is a
But
perfect.
you can have reverse surgery because that's how I have
Snip,
my
snap,
little
snip, snap.
sister.
Yeah, that's how you had your little
That's
sister.
right. I forgot
That's
your dad
why
got the
I
snip
have
snap.
a little
Oh, yeah,
sister.
yeah.
Yeah,
right.
he clogged it and then unclogged it.
Exactly.
The snip snap worked.
He put the snake down the drain,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden things were flowing again.
Yeah, I don't want to experience that situation again.
No, she was
It's just
born.
awkward.
She was born a month after I graduated from college.
Now, are you going to get
So your
fixed?
dad could have been a candidate for this
Dad
with
could have been a
your
candidate.
sister because
Yes.
that's a big age gap.
Are you going to get fixed if you have
Yeah,
a kid too?
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
That's already been discussed. If there is a kid number 2, the immediate aftermath of kid number 2
There
is
you
this
go.
is never happening
Get your
again.
frozen peas.
Do you think your wife's going to want to watch the way my wife watched?
I don't know. Probably.
Because
She's
they
into
let
that.
you stand in the room and just stand right next to you.
She's into that weird kind of, she's into surgeries. She's not grossed out by the blood. I can't look at any
There's
of
really
that
not.
stuff.
There's not
No.
blood.
I guess
per
not
se.
blood, sure, but
It
no.
was more like the description of what was going on. One, I can't deal with that stuff.
I don't want to do this.
So they were
That's
like, "You want to
about
look?"
as exposed as a dude can be right there.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah, it's
Just
your
on the
junk's
table,
just there.
junk's
There's a guy
flapping
operating
around.
on your testicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just awful. My wife's like, "Oh, it looks like a ramen noodle that he's cutting." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "You want to see it?" I'm like, "Not anymore.
No, I don't want to see
Not in
this.
any way
I don't
do
know
I want
what
to see
was
a
worse,
ramen noodle."
doing that or having the hemorrhoid lanced on Christmas Eve.
I think anytime involving
Off to a banner start today. Look at this.
The big
Straight into
unknown.
hemorrhoids 10 minutes into the show.
that's just an area I don't want to. I don't know. I'm not looking forward to anything there.
I was in so much pain, I did not care at that point.
Just get it off.
Make
Get it off.
Stop.
It hurts, okay?
Mm.
You know what caused it? Was it too much pushing?
Dude, I don't need that information.
Well, it's educational.
No, I don't
People
need
need
it.
to know.
No, I
What
don't.
we know how it
was
happens.
just
We know
random.
how it happens.
Well, everybody.
Bad stuff happens. It happens to everybody, Andrew. We're
Yes.
cutting that conversation out.
I'm just trying
No, we're
to
not going
educate
there.
myself on, you know,
3-day
matter.
weekend. Look
That's
how you
somebody
come
who's-
in.
might
Good
have,
God.
have a chance of having hemorrhoids later in life. I'm trying
They
to.
would not
What
recede,
obstacles can I avoid?
And I couldn't sit.
It's bad thing happened. Bad thing happened.
Yeah.
Hemorrhoids don't
For
sound
you
like
to
that.
go to urgent care on Christmas
That
Eve,
takes a special
that's
level
how
of
much
pain.
pain I was
Ho
in.
ho ho.
Because you could be in discomfort, but you're not going on Christmas Eve. You'd be like, we'll get through it. We'll deal with it next week. But if you're in that much pain, woo-hoo, that hurts.
Yeah, not good. All right. Well, it's good to be back.
Hello.
It is good to be back.
I'm going to derail every effort he's going to put into any of those conversations throughout the entire show today.
What's the deal with hemorrhoids?
Hey, what's the deal? There's a guy, by the way, I know sidebar, not important. There is a guy on Instagram. His entire account is doing Seinfeld, and I think he has absolutely nailed it.
Like an impersonation of Seinfeld?
He can impersonate George, Kramer, and
Really?
Jerry.
Oh, wow.
Really, like,
Does he do like new mock episodes? I always
Yeah.
love reading those of like if Seinfeld was still out,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
would the
yeah.
episodes
And
be about
him
with
and
the
his
time and place now?
girlfriend who portrays Elaine and does an exceptional job. I gotta look up the account to give it to you, but it's so good.
There's been a lot of good ones with the Epstein files of like somebody shows up in the files, but it's the wrong name, and how would we handle Kramer's in the files and Jerry? No, it was a lie. You know,
Yeah, wrong Kramer.
Yeah, wrong Kramer.
But it's good to be back on a Tuesday. Hope your 3-day weekend, if you had it, was great. For those out there that didn't, we apologize, but we're back. We're ready to go. It's a Tuesday, so you know what that means.
Hey.
Mail sack.
Any non-hemorrhoid related questions are welcome at the mail sack 503-864-6326. No, there's no or.
If you get,
There's no or.
swag, how did it feel? What did you go through? What were your emotions?
Pain. And he got it figured out. Okay, there you go. We moved on. We got a lot to get to today. Dirt and Sprague, get it going. 105.1, The Fan.
80 a.m.
Happy 63rd birthday, Michael Jordan.
He wasn't in the news for anything this weekend, was he?
Won the Daytona 500.
Hey, congrats,
Well,
MJ.
his team
he
won.
didn't wait.
Yeah.
In the same way Jody Allen won the Super Bowl.
Right.
Michael Jordan won the Daytona 500.
I think it's a little more hands-on than a Jody
Ooh,
Allen
we
situation.
give him more credit than Jody Allen. I'm okay with that.
Just a little bit. I mean, he's funding a lot of it. But who would have thought Michael Jordan better race car owner than NBA owner? Who had that?
It's not even debatable. It's
Not close.
Not even in the same galaxy or universe.
His race car team won the lawsuit against NASCAR. He's
They
won
did.
the Daytona 500 now.
You could argue he's the worst owner in NBA history. He has to be in the mix.
No.
He has to be in the mix. How many
Don
playoff
Sterling.
series did he win in his entire time owning the Hornets?
Okay, you have to take into account on and off the court.
Sure, I'm not talking
Donald Sterling.
controversial
Donald Sterling.
firings. I grant you that.
Sure.
It ended better for Michael Jordan than it did
It
for
did.
Donald
He made
Sterling.
a lot of money.
If we're just talking about the wins and losses metrics as an owner, he has to be in the mix.
He was also handed the organization at like a price that. Look up how much he was sold the Bobcats for
I don't
from
want
Robert
to. That's
Johnson.
going to piss me off.
I think it was like $88 million or something. It's something really dumb. Maybe it's 188. It was a price that, like, when it got reported, everybody's like,
What?
Wait, what?
He
No
was
way.
He was just handed a team.
No way. He owned the Hornets from
Well, you got to see when he
It's
bought
like they
the
were
Bobcats.
available at TJ Maxx.
Yeah,
for him
it
for
was a
some reason.
discount NBA franchise.
February of 2010
Okay.
until August of 2023.
13 seasons.
So 13
roughly.
seasons, starting as the Bobcats.
What
That's
did he buy him for?
I didn't look that up. How much did it cost?
By the way, we used to have a Lincoln and Washington holiday, a listener says, and then they just railroaded those two holidays and mashed them into one.
$275 million in 2010.
275.
I mean, that's insanity.
Yeah.
In 2010, that's like you hear that from. What would Paul Allen buy the Blazers for?
88.
88 million.
Yeah, I think
And
it
that was in the
88.
90s, though,
And that was in the
wasn't it?
90s. Like, so 275 in 2010 is ridiculous.
It was a real. I remember in the moment, like it was announced, people were like, "That's
He sold them for $3 billion, if you're wondering.
yeah." He made a ton of money on that thing.
But then you look at 2010 to 2023, how many playoff series did they win in that 13-year stretch?
They never won one.
They never did.
No.
I
They
don't
only
think
went a couple times.
Yeah, I don't think they ever won a series in
No,
13
they never,
years.
definitely never won anything as the Bobcats. And as the Hornets, I remember LeBron and the Heatles beating them in round one. LeBron had like a thunderous dunk, locked a game up, and then went over and dapped up Michael Jordan. There's a photo of them doing that.
So 2010, he took over. They got swept by the Magic in his first year. 2013-14, they made it, got swept by the Heatles.
Yeah.
And 2015-16, lost in 7 in the first round of the Heat. So in 13 years, he won 3 playoff games.
Yee. That's pretty bad.
That is horrible. In the Eastern Conference to boot.
Well, it was an interesting weekend because we had the NBA All-Star going on.
We did.
The Olympics roared on.
Yes, they did.
Yes.
We had the golf going golfing.
The golf
Yeah.
was golfing.
And the Michael Jordan thing was a story, and then it became a different story.
Can we ask this live on the air?
Sure. Why not?
Does Swag have any clue what we're talking about?
I don't think he does because he walked in
No.
as we were talking about it, and I
Yeah.
think he's just.
This is how unplugged he is. I love this is like the recurring bit of how unplugged is Swigart.
he didn't
from.
know Robert Duvall died.
You didn't know Robert?
He goes, when did
You
that
didn't know he
happen?
died? Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
I'm going to spend a week or two rewatching Robert Duvall films.
Which ones?
Exactly. That's why I need a week or two. There's so
You know,
many of them.
He reportedly told Josh Brolin he thought Matt Damon, Haley Steinfeld, and Brolin's True Grit
Was better than his.
was better than his.
It's remarkable to think of the movies that guy was in. Godfather gets a ton of attention. He was in To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, what? True Grit with John Wayne? He was in that movie.
what is your favorite?
And then he was
Robert
in
Duvall
Kicking
movie?
and Screaming with Will Ferrell and Mike Ditka. He was in that movie.
Yeah.
He was in Four Christmases. The Rolodex is in.
Oh
like,
my
the-
God! You
the
can't
stretch
spell families without lies.
Exactly. His
Yeah.
role in that movie is hilarious.
so good in that
His
movie.
comedic acting later in life. He was nominated for an Oscar at the age of like 87 for The Judge.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
He's one of the best.
one of the all-time goats.
Yeah, with a 95. You can't
Sure.
be sad.
But
he
yeah,
reportedly died on his, in his home, on his
Yeah.
bed, in front of his family. Like
that's how you want to
that's
go.
perfect.
95, hell of a run. Go with your family.
I'll see you later.
All right.
All right, cool.
Hell of a run, Bob.
That's a great run by Bob Duvall.
So to answer the long-winded question, no, I don't think Swag has any clue what we're talking about. And I love gauging how unplugged he is,
So-
which I'm jealous of.
To a certain extent, I'm kind of this way.
Yeah.
Patrick alerted me to 3 stories I missed. I missed LeBron Israel, which is, of course, going to become a huge story, or
Yes.
is.
NBA banner weekend.
The All-Star Game's back.
Yeah, baby.
Katie Berner's story was great.
Mm-hmm.
And the Michael Jordan, I saw that his racer, Tyler Reddick, won
That
the Daytona.
I knew he owned the car, and
I saw
there was
his
a big
interview.
controversial crash right at the
Oh,
end.
was there? That's how he won, huh?
And he got out unscathed, and everybody right behind him,
There's not a worse way
Hate it.
for that sport to end than when there's a major crash and a guy that just escapes getting hit
in
it
the middle
wins
of
it.
the pack, just
like,
kind of
oh.
hovering around 30 cars back, and then all of a sudden, hey!
No, he was just in front of it.
Okay.
And so he
and then
avoided-
everybody crashed behind
Behind
him.
him.
And
Yeah,
everybody
it was,
right behind him had the
yeah.
big crash.
Anyways, so Michael Jordan wins. His team wins the Daytona 500. He does the interview stuff. Says, I won't know it's real until I get a ring. Like, it's a major moment.
Yes, huge.
He just won a massive lawsuit against NASCAR.
Yes.
Now, what did he sue NASCAR for?
He was claiming that it was wasn't it about some teams,
So-
motor sizes and all that? It was like a
There's
big
called
controversy.
franchises, so there were certain teams that were automatically entered in every single race,
And his team.
but you had to commit. It was basically, it was like the old reserve
It
clause
was old
in
money,
baseball,
Yeah,
and
okay,
he was claiming it.
This is ridiculous.
unfair, and he
They went
won.
to court, and the France family got embarrassed
Yeah.
in court, and quickly afterwards, settled and figured it
Got
all
the hell out of
It
that
was a
thing.
big win for Nat.
I remember the
It was.
headlines happening, it being a big deal.
Well, so what happens is this viral video at the post-race celebration where they hoist the trophy goes on,
Yeah.
and the driver's kid is seen right next to the podium watching his dad, and Michael Jordan from behind is poking him a few times and then tickles the back of his leg. And everything that's going on in society now, it's the angle of the camera, it makes you kind of what's
Yeah.
going on here?
Yeah. It made for a pretty funny night on social media, but in most cases, I think we're just missing a ton of context
Of
with
course
the video.
we are.
Because we just see it and immediately go to the weirdest places possible, which would be funny for the GOAT debate. But the reading up on this, because I certainly was not watching the Daytona 500 this weekend. I know, shocking news. I was not.
Well, they had to push the start time up earlier due
bad
to
weather.
Got to go earlier
Bad
in the
weather.
day. You got to avoid
Golf
the bad
kinda
weather.
did the same thing. I think they started a little. I know they went to threesomes.
They went to threesomes instead of changing. And the weather ended up being okay, but not terrible.
It was howling.
It was
there at
howling
the
wind,
end
but people
on
thought it was going to be
18.
can't even play in it. Essentially, they dumped, as you do when you win a championship. What's the first thing you do?
You dump something on somebody.
You got to
The
go get
Gatorade
the
bath.
Gatorade bath or the champagne bottles, and they
Sure.
weren't doing the champagne bottles. They dumped the Gatorade bath, and so the kid was underneath the Gatorade dump of ice, and so he had a bunch of ice down his shirt. And MJ, who basically is like an uncle to the kid and helped raise him, was just razzing him by pulling his wet shirt because he had ice cubes in his back. That was the story.
That's not what the internet was saying.
No, shockingly, the internet was not saying that. No.
I
So
just-
that
I
really
don't
wasn't
believe that
anything.
Michael Jordan is a pedophile. I
So
don't.
stay unplugged.
Breaking news.
Yeah,
What's
I
the
pointed.
moral of the story?
This is
Stay
why I'm jealous
unplugged.
of him. I love that level of
I didn't know about this till Patrick
No.
texted me.
The
So
first-
I was also that unplugged.
The first thing that I saw was a tweet basically questioning, in some way, serious, shape, or form, the GOAT debate of he can no longer be the GOAT after this video was released. That was the first thing that I saw.
Oh,
and
of
I'm
course
like,
it was.
Wait a minute. What now? All of a sudden, my head's spinning of what did I miss with Michael Jordan? I need to go find the video. What got released? And then I saw the video and I thought, oh, well, there's probably a little more context here other than this 6-second clip that's circulating on Twitter.
63 years old.
MJ is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, his eyes are yellow. You see his post-race interview?
Yeah.
Yellow eyes.
Yeah.
Also, one of the biggest dud media announcements in the history of broadcasting.
It's
was
not even close.
NBC announcing we have Michael Jordan. Basketball fans getting excited about Michael Jordan being involved.
Yep.
And then he's not even there on All-Star Weekend because it's the Daytona 500.
I don't even
and
see
they
him-
only did one interview.
They
at
did
the start of
one
the year.
interview
Yeah.
and they clipped it 9 times. And they're
They
like,
did.
all right, we got 9 weeks of content. We're good here.
yeah.
He makes Tom Brady look like John Madden.
Yes, he
That's
does.
how bad he is.
How
at
much did
media.
NBC pay him for that, too? For one sit-down
I don't
interview?
know.
$3 million?
It's, dude, significantly
Whoever
more than that.
that producer
It was only one interview. You think
I
he got
know.
more than $3 million?
Let's
that
see.
hype that up.
What a waste of money by
That guy.
NBC if
You
they paid
ready
more
for
than that.
this?
You got the
No.
number?
What'd he get? Like
How much
$5
did they
million
pay?
It's an
for?
annual contract, first off. It's not a one-year thing.
Oh, so he'll do 2 interviews in
He
2
has
years.
an annual contract for however long it is, paying per year $40 million. It is the biggest robbery in the history of contracts. He sat down for 1 hour-long interview and got paid
No.
$40 million.
Quite
Also,
the opposite. That's why he's the GOAT.
Well, touche.
You know what he said to his agent?
Yeah.
We got him, boys.
I have a competition problem. Also, remind me who broadcasted the All-Star game this weekend?
NBC.
Okay, and NBC's paying him $40 million?
Yeah.
Was he involved in any way, shape, or form
No,
with the
he
All-Star
was at
weekend?
the racetrack on
Got
Fox at the Daytona 500.
which
He's
I
on
get.
another network.
He's on a competing network who went viral for something they showed Michael Jordan doing.
Yeah.
The Michael Jordan Fox video from Daytona 500 got significantly more play than anything NBC's gotten out of him.
Yeah, I said 3 and you came in.
It was like
$37
no chance, dude.
million
He's
more
Michael
than that.
Jordan. There's no chance it's only $3
You're right. I
million.
downplayed it. I'm sorry.
There's something about GOATs, like Wayne Gretzky's this, but at least he's there live every week, but he doesn't really give you anything, but at least he's on TV.
But being exceptionally excellent at your craft, it's no different than them coaching.
Yeah,
There's only been one. Who's the best? I think it's Larry Bird.
Larry Bird.
Larry Bird is the closest to a GOAT/great coach.
How many other GOATs actually got into coaching?
Magic coached for like a week.
Did he?
And he was terrible, so he quit.
Yeah.
Bill
Russell was
Bill
a
Russell
coach.
coached the
obviously.
Sonics
Yeah, he coached
How
the
long was he
Sonics.
the coach of the Sonics for?
a few years.
2 years.
Couple of years.
I think it was right before Lenny Wilkins took over
And then the
won the
title
title.
took them
happened.
to the title.
Yeah.
That's a very rare thing. You
But
don't
they
often
can't-
see GOATs get into it.
Yeah, because I think they really can't explain.
No, dude, it's like me trying to tell my kid how to do something.
Just
Like,
be great at
Why
it.
don't you understand how to hit a golf ball already?
Right,
What's the matter with you? You just move your arms back and you move it forward.
Yes.
What's the issue here?
Right,
Where's
yeah.
the hang up?
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't quite compute that way.
$40 million.
$40 million, man.
Dude, look, I
Pays to be MJ.
know people give us crap all the time on the GOAT stuff that we joke about. You have to be upset if you're a Michael Jordan fan watching those interviews.
Have
because
to be.
I am, and I watch it and I go, you just are the fuddy-duddy, crapping over everything, giving me nothing.
The entire thing was pitched to be him not. It was going to be appreciative of the modern
Celebrate the modern game.
Celebrate.
is how
Let's
they
get past
framed it.
these debates over
Yes.
eras and this or that, and let's
Yes.
just appreciate the wonderful basketball that we get to watch. And
Yeah.
there's literally
No.
None of it.
It was all about how do you stop tanking.
That was the all-star conversation.
Yes, it
Let's
was.
get into that. Let's move on from weird Michael Jordan videos. The NBA All-Star Game weekend, our beloved Dame Dollar.
dude
How
on the
cool
3-point
was
contest.
Feels good to win a bet like that.
Yeah, what was the payout on that? That'd
It
have
was
been pretty
plus
good.
380.
Plus 380.
And then you get a 50%
That's right.
boost
oh, hey, you got to
because they
take
had the
advantage.
All-Star stuff.
Got to do the boost.
So we'll get into that coming up at the top. Let's talk about the All-Star Game and the rundown of what were the big takeaways according to all the writers of the weekend. We'll get to that coming up next, but first, Swag with the sports update.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan with All-Star Weekend now completed in the NBA, including Damian Lillard winning a record-tying third three-point contest. The Blazers get a couple more days to recuperate before they resume their season. They'll host the Denver Nuggets on Friday. The NFL will descend upon Indianapolis for the Combine next week, and several teams starting to make roster moves to free up cap space. That includes the Dolphins, who released wide receiver Tyreek Hill on Monday. They plan to do so with 3 other players, including linebacker Brandon Chubb. And that will create, in total, another $40 million of salary cap room. College hoops tonight right here on the Fan. The Oregon Ducks men, after ending their 10-game losing streak over the weekend, will host the Minnesota Golden Gophers at 7:30 at Matt Knight Arena. Our pregame coverage begins at 7 o'clock on 105.1 The Fan, immediately following primetime. Oregon, 4.5-point favorites over on 910 ESPN Portland. Number 1 ranked Michigan visits number 7 Purdue. That is a 3:30 p.m. tip. Our pregame coverage starts at 3:15. Wolverines, a 3.5-point favorite. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigart from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the 1080 AM.
All right, well, trust tree time as we get into the NBA All-Star Weekend that was in Los Angeles. I didn't watch a single half second, a tenth of a second of Friday. Didn't see anything. Have no idea what happened.
You missed the Rising Star. Was that the G League game? I'm assuming in the celebrity
that was the
game.
Rising Stars Challenge in the celebrity game.
Celebrity game.
So, are you going to tell me that you did? Because we left the show Friday with you saying, "Hey, just let me know what happened this weekend," and now you're going to come in and say, "I watched Friday."
What the hell's the matter with you, dude? I was doing my homework for the show. I knew we were going to talk about the celebrity shootout game today. Do you see Shams and his actually pretty big biceps? He's just a well-built guy. He's out there in a tank top.
He's like 5'2".
Hey. We don't height shame on this show. A lot of people are proud of being 5'2", okay? I love my 5'2" brothers. Makes me feel tall.
So did you watch Friday?
No, I didn't watch a second of it.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No offense
I saw
to Young
highlights of-
Hansen and Donovan Klingen.
No.
I did see that the jokey stuff was that Giannis was one of the coaches of the game, and I believe Shams was on his team.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if we're all familiar with this. They're currently beefing because Shams reported he wanted to get traded, and then Giannis said, I never actually asked for a
I'm
trade.
going to look up Shams' celebrity game now.
Yeah, there was one. I just saw an interview with him before talking about his game, and I was like, actually in pretty good shape there. Not that I was surprised by that. I just have never seen him with his shirt off before, I don't really think about what Shams looks like without a shirt on. So that was the only funny angle to me of Giannis hating that Shams was on his team and trying to openly trade him in the middle of the game.
I don't know what Shams looks like without his shirt on.
I mean, you ever curious? What's going
Well,
on?
not really.
Huh? What you taking off
He's got
for?
great hair, though, doesn't he?
He's got a great hair.
God, he's got good hair.
The other thing I saw from Friday was in a shocking development, hosting things in a big city that doesn't really care about sports other than the Dodgers. There was nobody there.
So this is the problem. There's a lot of articles you can go read. I read about 2 or 3 of them.
Well, they were using 2 different. So the celebrity game was at a different arena.
They had multiple locations.
Sure.
And then there
was nobody at either of them.
Yeah,
on Friday.
I know.
There was
Saturday.
Saturday, there was nobody there.
So the big problem.
You know where you sell it out?
Yeah.
Phoenix next year.
They probably will.
Vegas.
So I was reading the takeaways because there was all these different writers and MASH articles saying what was the big thing, right? And aside from the biggest talking point from the weekend for people was tanking.
Yes.
Tanking was the huge talking point. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that are like super panicked about this. They're sounding the alarms and they're like, we're not appearing to be doing anything about this. It's a huge problem, big issue. A lot of people are upset by it. Aside from that, the other big takeaway from the Friday, Saturday, Sunday of festivities, and we'll get into the game part of it, we'll get into the 3-point shootout stuff, is L.A. is a terrible city for it, and the start times for everything was really bad.
It was wonky, yeah.
And I experienced this firsthand with the Saturday. So Friday, I don't care about Friday, like at all. I really don't care.
I saw a Young Hansen highlight where he went around Klingen and did a finger roll.
I'm sure Donovan was playing hard. I couldn't care less. Saturday is where you can get basketball Sprague interested. And Sunday, I'll watch whatever. I crap on the format, but I'll still watch it.
Yeah, there's nothing else on Sunday afternoon, evening.
So Saturday, the start time blew my mind. I hadn't looked at when the start time was. When I rolled up, we had a family Lunar New Year party at my wife's aunt's house in Beaverton. When we walked in the door, we were about 10, 15 minutes late. We walked in the door, the festivities were kicking off, and it was on TV. And this was at like
middle of the afternoon.
Yeah,
I mean,
2
not
o'clock.
even late afternoon, middle of the afternoon.
Yep.
And I looked at it, and I was talking to our host, and I go, because he's a big basketball guy, and I go,
wait a minute, what's going on here?
is this an old one? This looks like it's right now. And he goes, yeah, dude, it blew my mind. I turned on the TV, and it said it was on. I'm like, what?
NBC's got the Olympics, man. We got to get this stuff out of the way.
And so we started watching it like the middle of the afternoon, which you could say, Sprague, you should look at it start time. I'm not complaining. Whatever. It worked out on Sunday for me really well.
Same thing happened to me, though.
But Saturday blew my mind because I'm so programmed and conditioned for like a 4:30, 5 o'clock start time for Saturday
it's
festivities.
called All-Star Saturday Night.
Right.
That's like the name of the day and the event. Saturday night.
The big takeaway from the articles is, one, the multiple locations was a big problem. They had it in Beverly Hills. They had it in Inglewood. They had it all over L.A.
Sure. Those
places are not close to each other with traffic.
No.
And then also, nobody was going to them.
No.
The tickets were way overpriced.
Shocking.
They said sold out because they sold tickets, but it was to like companies and corporations and all these, entities that didn't largely show up. So Saturday was super underwhelming. I had somebody ask me, how full do you think that arena is? Because they kept dimming the lights and just doing the flashlights.
Because there's a little flash on each seat, so they always have those going on so it doesn't look like there's nobody there.
And I go, I don't think it's very full, man, because usually if it was full, they'd let you see it a little more. They're not letting you see it. And all the takeaway was that the arena was super empty.
Look, there's a million problems with the NBA, and I'm sure we'll go over the biggest one that was highlighted this weekend. This is a point that I've largely made that I think just shows how aloof Adam Silver is. And there's some in this city that even push against this of like, well, we don't have the right hotels, but you have to have the right hotels by the arena. We can't stay 10 minutes outside of Portland and bust into an All-Star game. This is where baseball and Rob Manfred just dunks and hangs their nuts in Adam Silver's forehead constantly. You go market to market where your teams actually play. The NBA's hosted all-star games in cities that don't have teams before. They're going to Los Angeles, which I get in this small vacuum because they build a new arena.
Fourth time in 20 years they've been in L.A., by the way.
But fourth time in 20 years. You know where they sell out the all-star game? In small markets that don't get stuff like this. If you had an all-star weekend in Oklahoma City, you would pack everybody into the city. In Portland, in Indianapolis, in Milwaukee. And, like, the list goes on and on and on. Detroit right now with the season they're having.
Right, yeah.
They would all
Imagine
kill.
Detroit. That's a good one.
But we have to bend over backwards because athletes want to be in sunny weather, and we have to have a hotel within walking distance that's a 5-star accommodations. And if we don't have that, we can't have an all-star game. Like this is where you miss the plot. And if you want a fun, entertaining weekend with a passionate crowd and a good atmosphere, you go where the fans are, and they're just not in Los Angeles for anything outside of one or two sports, especially in something that they've had 4 times in 20 years. And so baseball gets it right, NBA gets it wrong. Every time that this happens, I saw the crowd. Friday night, there was nobody there at either event. Saturday night, the crowd was incredibly sparse. It looked like Sunday wasn't terrible. I had the same thing, though, on Saturday. We were getting ready to go out to an early dinner because my niece wanted to come over and babysit. And my brother walked in the door because he brought her over to come watch Teddy ball game for a couple of hours. And he walked in the door. He was like, "Hey, Dame time, huh?" And I was like, "What do you?"
Oh, you walked
I had
in late?
no idea.
Oh.
I didn't know what time. I had no idea.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
Johnny Ludes texted us a Dame time thing. Like as I'm walking out the door, and I'm like, "What are you guys talking about right now? It's like 3:15. What do you mean Dame time?"
And he was like the last to go.
He was the last to go.
So you missed
and
it all.
he asked me if I was recording it, and do you want me to not tell you what happened? I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm going to go back and watch later, which I eventually did. But the timing of it was very weird.
You know, it's not even about weather because I'm looking back to 2015. New York, Toronto, Chicago, Cleveland,
they just
Salt
want to go
Lake,
to big cities.
Indy. They were in Indy in 2024. San Francisco last year.
So they went to Indy.
Yeah.
So you can go to Indianapolis.
Yeah. Indy's a great hosting city. I mean, to Indy's credit, they really make their city a big host city. Look.
And I'm sure the crowd was significantly better.
It's just more, I think it was a combination of L.A. largely is not a I care much city.
No.
But also Inglewood, not Staples. And start times, I think, were really wonky. But that was the second biggest takeaway of all the articles was tanking. And then, we'll get to the TV ratings because that came out and, the game part of it. But it was like people didn't know when anything was starting. And it was started in the middle of the afternoon, which is terrible with traffic.
NBC's got the Olympics, man. You got to move this stuff around because they spend a lot of money on the Olympics.
Let's get to the game side of it. I'm assuming you watched Sunday.
I did. I had it on. Wasn't glued to it, but it was on in the background.
All right, we can get to that. Ratings increased for them. We'll get to the Dame winning a 3-point contest. We have football notes. We had kind of big football news yesterday.
There's a lot of football news out there. There's always football news.
So we'll get to the football stuff of all of that. It's also a Mail Sack Tuesday, so get the Mail Sack questions in to 503-864-6326. The new All-Star format appears to have worked, Andrew. We'll talk about that next on The Fan.
6:30 a.m.
Dame Dollar wins another three-point contest. We'll get to that coming up at the top of the hour. We got Adam Silver audio we'll get to. Got a little college basketball nuggies and some NFL nuggets as well. Whew, college basketball, there was a funny story this weekend. Unless you're the guy involved, then not so funny.
Yeah, then it's not funny for you.
But we'll get to that coming up. So the NBA All-Star Game saw a almost double in ratings.
It did. Almost, 9 million average? 8.8,
I think it was 8.8 million. Last year's 4.7.
I think it beat that, tops the MLB All-Star Game, if I'm not wrong.
It does.
Obviously blows out
How
the
much of that
promo.
is going from TNT to
That's a huge part
NBC?
of it. And the Olympics.
I think it's not just I think it's more the Olympics than it is the channel.
Yeah, you get the carryover viewers who were just
Yeah.
sitting around watching NBC, and you get, obviously, being on network television, far more accessible than is TNT.
Well, that was the big thing, was now that they've changed the format. And I heard from some listeners this weekend on my Instagram DMs,
hitting you up,
chatting with
telling you?
some people of like, hey, went back and forth on stuff. But, like, we can get to the game side of it. I think the rating tick is just about Olympics. They're literally smashed in between. So it's like Olympics after, Olympics before. There's a lot of great stories.
We had a John Tesh concert. Maybe that's what all of it was.
Around the whole rock. Should have brought Tim Robinson out. That would have made it perfect. But the format was the Stripes, the Stars, the World. They had three teams. They had a round-robin tournament.
Yes.
What did you think of it? Because it's an interesting topic, and I think a lot of the NBA talking heads are going to tell you they fixed it, here it is, and then they'll point to the rating thing. But I think the ratings is more about the Olympics than anything else.
I agree 100% with you there. I'm not going to by any means come on the air and say that they fixed anything. I also think I reached the conclusion watching, because I had it on, it's Sunday night. There's not a lot else going, or Sunday evening, whenever time it was.
Sure.
Not a lot else going on. The golf had kind of wrapped up. I wasn't glued to any things Olympics related, so it just was on. It's a good background thing on a Sunday. There's different games going. You're not watching every second of it. I've also just reached a point of complaining about the All-Star Game. To me, feels like debating in college football how many teams should be in the playoff.
Or debating 11-12.
Where there's so many different issues that are more important that the sport is facing of hey, how about we don't let players leave in the middle of the postseason? And maybe that's a bigger issue than are there 12 teams or 24 teams? So, was it the worst All-Star Game weekend or game event that I've ever seen? No. But we also kind of did this after the first Elam ending one, where it was hey, that was great. This is going to fix the All-Star Game. And then we scrapped that plan 2 years later because nobody cared anymore and nobody was watching. I also am kind of tired, and I'm very guilty of it as well. It's an All-Star Game. It doesn't matter. There are a lot of big issues that are facing the NBA. What they do in the format of their game is not in the top 57 issues that the NBA is currently facing.
I thought it was a lot of fun. Wemby was fun.
Wemby took it seriously, and he needed a couple of guys that played hard, and he clearly did.
Duran was really fun.
Yeah.
You had guys that were playing hard. You had a game-winning walk-off shot. Did you watch the last game?
I did. It ended up being a blowout.
Yeah.
They won by 20
because the old guys were exhausted.
Yeah. All right.
Because much like an All-Star game in reverse, you literally don't do anything until the fourth quarter, and then they start playing serious. I thought Kevin Durant made a good point. He's like, I went back and watched since 1970, the first quarter of every All-Star game.
Yeah.
Because I've heard nothing about how our generation's ruined this. Nobody played hard in the beginning of any of those All-Star games I went back and watched. No. But the last 4 minutes gets interesting, and so we kind of go back into our memory and retell ourselves what the All-Star Game used to be, damn it.
Used to be real to me.
I'm with you there, though. It
was fun. It's an All-Star game.
Fine.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at all.
There's nothing that you could do to make it better. There's not it is what it is.
Do you like the format better?
No, I did not like the format better.
Okay, why?
East versus West.
Okay. Just team jerseys, East West.
Team jerseys, play a game. Look at that. They're throwing alley-oops and dunking and shooting half-court shots. All right.
Denny didn't
Let's
really do anything.
Move on. Well, we called that. It's the All-Star Game's not meant for guys like that.
Here's my big takeaway.
It's the same as kind of a Jokic. Jokic is a guy, by the way, who is totally flown under the radar of somebody who doesn't give a rat's ass about any of this stuff, but doesn't get killed for it.
I would like to thank you.
And I love Jokic because he's a goofy bastard and he's fat and the way he plays is funny. He doesn't care at all about any of this stuff.
That is a good co-host without talking about it, naturally lobbing one up, because that was my big takeaway. Wemby loves it, wants to win, was pissed he lost both games.
Yeah.
Duran, Kate Cunningham, De'Aaron Fox. You had Kawhi Leonard's 31 points in one of those games. You had guys actually giving effort. And every time they showed the world, it's about Wemby and everybody else on the world team. And then they show the bench, And there's Jokic literally not caring, not even trying.
Staring off into the sunset.
And the last, 8 years, all of the All-Star Game rhetoric about the not trying, and it's a problem, and why should I care if they don't care? It's always about who? And again, Kevin Durant highlighted this. It's always about Durant and LeBron, and you guys don't care enough. This is your fault.
Yeah.
Excuse me, what season is Nikola Jokic in?
He's in the prime of his career.
He's in
He's a
year 9.
multi-MVP award winner. He's an NBA champion, a Finals MVP.
Why does he skate from any of this? He just sits on the bench the entire weekend.
Because he's funny and he's fat.
He's not funny.
No, he's not.
He doesn't talk.
Watching him, his personality is funny. He's not personally funny. Just the aura of him is funny.
I find it hilarious. LeBron has gone out there and scored 24 points in a game. LeBron didn't care enough. Jokic is just actively, I'm not playing.
I don't think he ever runs above 4 miles an hour the entire game, dude. It's a
unbelievable.
permanent jog/walk.
Nobody flies more under the criticism of that league than that guy.
Yeah.
He's amazing. I love watching Nikola Jokic play. He's one of my favorites. But when we have these conversations about what's good for the league, what's not good for the league, and the All-Star game gets brought up, it's always the old guys. It's KD, it's Bron, it's, is Steph going to play this year? It's never Jokic, and he's just always on the bench, never caring, never trying.
Yep.
And nobody says anything. It's always a passing note. Jokic, he just doesn't care. LeBron. Let's talk about why LeBron made this break. What? He's the best player in the world, just sitting on the bench, never caring about this game.
MVPs? 3 MVPs
I think
for
it's
Jokic?
3, yeah.
3 MVPs.
And he would have won a
and
fourth,
finals.
but we got into a race debate.
Yeah. I mean, you can argue he could have won the MVP last year, too. He did something
Could win it this year. I think he's the second biggest favorite.
Could have 7 of them dangs.
But he's just on the All-Star bench, just never caring. Which, okay, that's fine. But damn, it's crazy.
Not a great guy to have as the face of your league if they don't give a rat's ass about literally anything, and he can't be the face.
That's why he's not the face.
Yeah. We hold people to different standards, man. It's a funny thing that we do in sports.
We do.
Some people you got to hold to this standard. Other people, who cares? Let them do what they want.
The last game was a dud. Overall, it's just about effort. That's all the game is. If you reverse it, go count up the amount of points scored in the 4 total games. I think it's 4, right? 4 total games. Tell me what the final. If we added up all the games because they played 1 quarter's worth, what would the final score have been?
The breakdown quarter by quarter.
If you just tally all the points up, would it have been like 190 to 200?
Yeah, probably, which, it's funny. If you put an actual game together, East versus West, you could end up with something that's about 200 to 190.
Yeah. Good win for the league, I guess, from the rating standpoint. I was more encouraged, not so much that they doubled the ratings, because I just thought Olympics.
Yeah.
I was actually encouraged. Side note, kudos to you football sickos, because I was one of them too. You guys have finally spoken up. You're out. The Pro Bowl had 2 million viewers.
2 million.
That is abysmal for that. You want to talk about something that's dead.
Nobody's watching it anymore.
America has told us they don't care about the Pro Bowl at all anymore. It used to be like 4, 5, 6, 7 million.
Flag football at 7-on-7.
2.1 million was
Shador Sanders
pitiful.
is in the game. Like,
my
dude,
God.
I'm not going anywhere near that thing.
Good for us. Look at us. We took a stand.
We did it.
We did it.
We did it, America.
Loaded second hour of the program. Dame Lillard wins his 3rd 3-point contest. We'll get to that hour number 2. Dirt and Sprague 105.1 The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, All-Star Weekend all over now after Damian Lillard won a record-tying third three-point contest. The Blazers get a couple more days to recuperate, and they will resume their season hosting the Denver Nuggets Friday in Moda Center. NFL preparing for next week's Combine in Indianapolis. Several teams starting to make roster moves, freeing up cap space. The Dolphins released wide receiver Tyreek Hill Monday, and there are plans to do so for three other players, including pass rusher Brandon Chubb. The moves will create a total of $40 million of salary cap space. College hoops tonight, right here on the Fan. The Oregon Ducks men finally ended a 10-game losing streak over the weekend. They'll host Minnesota 7:30 tonight at Matt Knight Arena. Pre-game coverage starts at 7 o'clock on 105.1 The Fan immediately following primetime. Oregon 4.5-point favorites. On 910 ESPN Portland, the top-ranked Michigan Wolverines heading to West Lafayette, taking on the 7th-ranked Purdue Boilermakers. 3:30 tip. Our pregame coverage at 3:15. Michigan 3.5-point favorites. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The Fan is live on
Hour number 2. Durden Sprague here. Good morning. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Millsack Tuesday.
Or you got some good ones coming in today.
There we go.
Filling up early.
All right. Talking some NBA All-Star Weekend stuff, because we had that. A lot of really good thoughts here. Also, I would just like to say, again, I do like Jokic.
Yeah, who doesn't like Jokic? It just is funny that some guys are held to a certain standard.
Yeah.
He does nothing to elevate the game. He does nothing. to
He makes no effort
showcase.
to care about the game.
He makes no effort. He's not criticized in any way, shape, or form. But if other players do what Jokic does, they are raked over the coals.
I think it's a huge underrated story from the weekend is every time NBC showed him, he's just on the bench.
Just chilling.
Giggling.
Just laughing.
Imagine, just imagine any of KD or LeBron doing that, choosing to not play any of those games. And just nah.
I don't want to play.
I'm sure Stephen A. would be so level-headed about it on Monday, Tuesday.
Nothing would get yelled about at all. There would be no GOAT debates. Michael Jordan cared about this game. That's when the NBA used to be great.
Yeah.
I'm running for president.
Told Swag, what do you think if Stephen A. became president of the United States?
Yeah.
A lot to get to here in the second hour of the program. We had a college basketball story happen this weekend, which was quite interesting.
We did, yeah.
I saw this, and I'm like, I wonder how that's going to go. And then literally the next day, we're moving on. And I went, that's how I thought that would go.
And then an immediate, you're hearing from my lawyers ASAP.
Well,
I'm going to sue your ass.
When it comes to the do-re-mi, buddy.
Yes, I'm getting all my cash.
There's going to be lawyers involved. So the NBA All-Star Game changes their format. It appeared to work. It was a little more entertaining. I think that's more about effort than it is format. But, people watched. So that was good.
Yeah.
Dame Dollar won the three-point contest.
Easily the highlight of the weekend.
For us,
yeah.
Had to be, because Denny didn't do anything in that game.
No, and I didn't really care about the All-Star Game either way. Again, background noise, good for a Sunday evening, but the only thing that I was remotely interested in I want to watch this, and ironically, I missed it because it happened in the middle of the day, and I didn't know what time it was starting, so I had to go back and watch later when we got home, was Dame in the three-point contest.
Side note, I just don't think that game, I think Denny's going to be another all-star where his game isn't good for that game.
You either have to be able to be freakishly athletic and throw down insane dunks or do the Dame Lillard, I'm shooting from the logo. That's what we're looking for in an all-star game.
Yeah, not put your body into a body to get 8 free throws.
You drove to the hoop and made a layup. Wow. It's like when people were circulating because the dunk contest happened, which we have not talked about,
Yeah.
which was really bad, but it's pretty bad now anyways.
Oh, the dunk contest.
There was a guy that fell down on his back. Who's that cat? Is he okay?
That's Jason Richardson's kid.
Is he okay? Is he alive?
He got up and dunked.
Is it spinal?
But I thought he was, I'd never seen something like that happen.
Jackson Hayes ran to the hoop and did a one-handed dunk like he was in pregame warm-up.
He knew there was no effort.
Yeah,
He
what
was
are we
like,
doing
oh,
here?
that was pretty bad.
But I also saw highlights of Kareem doing the dunk contest when he was literally just doing the same thing, and everybody's like, man, the NBA used to be so great. This used to be awesome. But, I mean, that's what we're looking for, right? Like, we're looking for highlight plays, and Denny just does not provide those of that level. He's not going to be a good all-star game guy.
Yeah, somebody pointed out Mac McClung went on YouTube because he refused to do the I'm going to win it 4 times thing.
Yeah.
He did 4 dunks, and all 4 of them infinitely better than any of the dunks we got. They were all different than he'd ever done, too.
Was there a reason he didn't want to win it 4 times?
He basically is like, I don't want to just be the dunk guy. I want to have a career. He's trying to be an actual basketball player. I think he's in Chicago right now.
Okay.
He had one dirt. I'm going to try to explain this because it's not good for radio to tell you to look
Could
on
I
YouTube.
do it on my Nerf hoop?
No.
No.
He ran up. His buddy is about 9 feet up, so he's close to the hoop, holding the ball. He ran up, ran over past his buddy, not over, but like next to his buddy.
Yeah.
And spun his arm backwards and dunked the ball.
It's a little bit better than what Jackson Hayes did.
And then any of them did.
Jackson Hayes.
Carter Bryant, like hot take.
Yeah.
Did you watch the dunk contest?
I saw highlights. I did not watch the dunk contest.
Okay, so you may not know how.
I saw the Jackson Hayes dunk, and I saw the guy from Orlando fall on his ass.
That's all you saw?
That's all I saw.
Okay, do you know who won?
No, I don't know who
The
won.
Miami guy.
Oh, okay.
Keyshawn Johnson.
Sure, big
Okay?
fan of his game.
He's a two-way guy. He's, relatively unknown. He shouldn't have won. His dunk wasn't even good. It was hilarious. So Carter Bryant is easily the best dunker of this group. He was the favorite going in. He's the best dunker of the group, okay? Carter Bryant needs a 47 to win, I think, which is like, just do a cool between the legs,
like
and you've got it.
Yeah, some 8s and some 9s, maybe 110 mixed in there.
He goes between the leg, pass off the backboard to then dunk it. Misses.
Oh.
Misses again.
Oh.
Goes for the third one, rims out, grabs the ball. They're on a 2-minute clock.
Yeah, he's got the time expiring.
He
there.
just walks over to half court and talks to Vince Carter for 35 seconds.
About what to do.
There's about 20 seconds now.
Go 10.
He
9.
tries the dunk again, rims out. Now there's 3 seconds. He just goes up and does like a 360, dunks it, gets a 42, loses the dunk contest. Lost. I don't know how much the prize money is, but he's a rookie. And he lost like 150 plus K.
Dude, I could have used that cash.
Not taking it serious. He realized it too. He did the dunk and he went, oh my God, what did I just do?
I just needed a 47 and I would have won the damn thing.
Sidebar dunk contest conversation. Sorry about that, but I got derailed.
I wish Jackson Hayes' dunk would have included him shoving a mascot and then throwing down a 2-handed slam because that would have been hilarious.
That would have been
and I would have
better
given
when
him
he
a
did.
10 out of 10.
That would have been
Just,
way
hey,
better.
mascot, whatever the Clippers mascot is, wave him down. Just 2-hand shove, grab the basketball, dunk. There you go.
But Dame Dollar won the 3-point contest. It's his third one. We had a big debate in our family home about this at the party.
Ooh.
So somebody looked up how many people have won it 3 times, and their search results are interesting. It says it's like 8, but on the NBC broadcast, it said he was the third to do it. But when you look it up on the actual,
Where's the disconnect there?
Where's
What
the
do we?
disconnect?
I
I'm
don't
aware of
know.
only 2 others that have won it 3 times.
yeah, well, Dame's now the third one to
Right.
have done it. And so then we couldn't figure out what was happening there. Nobody looked at the search engine that he was looking at. I was like, are you looking at Google AI? Because Google
Right.
AI is wrong all the time. He goes, no, I'm on the actual website.
Google AI is telling me it's only 3 guys.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, NBC's broadcast said 3. So Dame becomes the third one, according to NBC, to ever win it 3 times.
Craig Hodges, Larry Bird,
Yeah,
Damian
Dame Lillard.
Lillard.
And here was Damian Lillard being asked, like, hey, man, you're coming off an Achilles injury. You called the NBA and said, I want to be in it this year. Why did you do that?
I think this weekend is about the fans of our league, everybody that represent our league, and the stars of the league. So, people want to see us come out here and compete. They want to see us go against each other. That's for 3-point, dunk contests, even in the game. That's what they want to see is the players that they recognize most come out and be willing to lose, be willing to compete. And I haven't been out there on the floor, so this was the opportunity for me to come out and get some competition, like I said. And it was fun. I'm glad I did it.
Nikola Jokic would never. He wouldn't even get near the microphone, coward.
Why isn't Jokic? Has Jokic ever done a 3-point contest?
No.
Why not? Again, Highlighting the issue.
He's the best player in the league, and he just literally doesn't try or care.
He was damn near the top of the NBA in three-point. Like, it's not like he's a bad three-point. Like, he's an elite three-point shooter. He was over 40% last year.
Now, don't quote me. Look it up if he's participated. Okay. Maybe there was a year that I'm...
A lot of Googles going on today.
Yeah, a lot of Googles going on. But I thought that was a great message. Speaking of, I was like, dude, this is for the fans. Man. And Steph Curry, who's injured, like legitimately injured, came out and said he's going to be in it next year. So we're going to get Dame Lillard and Steph Curry in the three-point contest.
And Devin Booker, because it'll be in Phoenix, it sounds like, so he'll be the hometown guy. By the way, no, Jokic has never participated in the three-point contest.
Talk about guys who should have won it. Devin Booker went to the last rack and had like 3 or 4 balls that if he hits it, he wins it, and he just clank, 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 clank.
Yeah.
Dame Lillard wins it.
I mean, it was a really cool moment, man. I love the message that he sent. Like, this is about the fans. We should not get caught up in all this, bitching about formats and playing hard or not playing hard. Like, just go put on a show for the fans who spend hard-earned money. The story that he was telling about, the rehab process and him being a symbol of strength and resilience of still going through that Achilles injury, but having the ability to go do the three-point contest. It was cool, man. And now he's got a chance to do something that nobody in the NBA has ever done. Because he's going to get at least one more crack at this. I don't know how many more after that, but he'll do it again next year.
I think as long as he's playing, he wants to
be one of those guys.
He seems like he loves it.
He cares about it. It's cool. He got to raise another trophy. It was hilarious seeing him make fun of Giannis too in the aftermath. They were doing like a media scrum, and Giannis was holding this trophy for a moment, and he asked if he put any lead bets on Kalshi on him to win, and if he made any money on it, which was a great line.
I think giving Giannis some hard times about gummies too.
Yeah, just hey, you got to poke the bear a little bit. That was pretty enjoyable to see. But to get 3 minutes like that was awesome. It was the only thing that I was interested in the entire weekend. A lot of it's background noise for me. Going back and watching it, seeing him win it, it was. I don't know about you. There's this weird, I know Lillard's a Blazer again, but
it made me feel good.
He hasn't played yet, and so there's this weird of I know he's here. I know he's going to play, but he hasn't played yet. I just see him on the bench in street clothes. So it's the first time I've seen him in a Blazer uniform since he left in his last game, and it was an awesome moment to win the three-point contest.
Guess what jersey he wasn't wearing?
He should have worn the carpets.
He was wearing your jacket.
Where are the carpets?
Where's the carpet?
Where are the carpets at All-Star Weekend?
God bless Dame Lillard. Representing the organization in a great way.
How cool is it? In some contests, they allow you to, wear your team's jersey.
I like it.
What a novel concept.
Knipple out there in the turquoise and the Charlotte Hornet pinstripe jersey. Devin Booker in it.
It looked great.
It was great, man.
Uniforms look great on Saturday night
or
made me afternoon.
Happy. It made me really happy. I'm with you. We haven't seen him. We know he's back, but he's not played. It was great. Now, I did have a couple people reach out and ask me what I thought, because I've said before, I'm very curious to see how he's going to operate next year. I'm not one that believes I'm going to pin in that he's 24 points a game.
That he's your number one scoring option, leader of a franchise like he was before he left.
And I'd love to be wrong on that. Sure. It's not an anti-Dame thing. I'm curious to see how he's going to operate with the guys that'll be here next year. I've noted on-ball, off-ball stuff. Dame is a huge on-ball, needs ball guy, not a sit in the corner, but
running around off the screens the entire game like Steph. Yeah,
I had people hey, man, looked pretty good grabbing the ball off the rack and just spotting up and shooting. I think that's a little different personally, but yeah, I can understand why people would see that and go, hey, he's going to fit in really well next year.
It's about all. Swigart joked on Friday. It's about all he's been able to do. Not a lot of physical stuff, but you don't have to jump that high to shoot if you're Damian Lillard. So just keep getting your shots up. He clearly was in good form and now has a chance to become the first in NBA history to win it 4 times next year.
That is an event, by the way, of all the weekend stuff. We'll get to that in Silver Audio here.
Three-point contest is the best of the entire weekend. It's not even close.
It's never going to be bad to me.
No, some years are better than others because you get leaderboards that look better or, comes down to the final 2 shots or something like that. So you get more entertaining ones, but it's the same thing every year. There's no difference in the 3. You shoot from 3, you have the same amount of racks. There's no dunk contest where we romanticize it what it was in the 1980s and the dunks today blow them out of the water.
Well, but it's not, it's not Luke Kennard. It's Con Knippel, who might be Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
It's Dame Lillard.
Steph
it's Devin
Curry's
Booker.
Won a bunch. Devin Booker.
Steph's going to be in it. Donovan Mitchell was in it. You've got, I think, was Maxey in it? Yeah, I think Maxey was in it. You got legit big names that love to do that.
Not two-way players.
And don't care that they'll lose.
Right.
The dunk contest has the reverse problem.
Yeah.
It's guys we've never heard of or role guys at best.
Nobody wants to be embarrassed and have the dunk contest performance that people laugh at and point at.
Like VJ Edgecombe, why did you not do it?
Yeah.
You're a rookie.
What are we doing, man?
This is LeBron's fault.
Way to go, LeBron.
Let's hear from Adam Silver, had his press conference at the All-Star festivities. We'll get to that coming up next on 105.1 The Fan.
a.m.
Well, this guy, he spoke his truth, and it cost him his job. We'll get to that coming up. Delightful little Tuesday. Get your Millsack questions in, 503-864-6326. Good morning. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Hello.
Talking about the NBA All-Star stuff. Rating uptick. Game seemed a little more interesting. The last game was just old guys getting no legs, and so the young guys just ran them off the court.
A little fresher.
And Dame won the three-point contest. Did you watch the Shooting Stars thing? It was right before the...
I did not.
It was right after the three-point contest.
I did not. I didn't see any of that live. I was out to dinner with the wife, and then...
Oh, you watched it on recorded?
And then I had to watch it recorded, because it was right in the middle of the early evening time.
Well, yeah, the start times this year were a little interesting. It was sandwiched in between the Olympics. You got Olympics on your show notes, by the way?
I actually do have a couple Olympic things in my show notes.
The U.S. women's hockey team.
It's a wagon, dude. They're playing Canada for the gold.
5-0 every game?
They're 31-1, I think is what they've outscored their opponents so far.
Unbelievable.
But now they get Canada again. Here we go.
They dominated the dojo. They're going to do
fun,
it.
Dude, the skill level in women's hockey. People say this a lot about women's basketball, of like the skill and the fundamentals that you see.
Is it like that in hockey?
It is absolute. Like what you'll see in women's. I mean, they're not flying as fast as Connor McDavid, and they're not blowing guys up in the neutral zone. But the skill and the technique that they show is remarkable to watch.
It's a great story going on. Many great stories going on in the Olympics. We'll get to some of that. We got football notes as well. Some news up north about the future of some of these players on the Super Bowl champion Seahawks. But Adam Silver spoke at the press conference for the All-Star game, and he gave us an update on the expansion situation.
We won't be voting at the March meeting, but we will likely come out of those meetings ready, prepared to take a next step in terms of potentially talking to interested parties. No, it doesn't have to be a two-team expansion. Frankly, it doesn't have to be any number of teams. I think that the logical next move would be to say, all right, we've had those discussions internally. We've made decisions about cities to focus on and what the opportunity is, and now we got to go out into the marketplace. And I think that's probably the most important step, to find out who is potentially interested in owning a franchise in particular cities. What's the value of that franchise? There's some work to do in terms of potential conference realignment.
Not even.
How about this?
Answer.
Seattle and Vegas are the two new teams, and Minnesota goes to the Eastern Conference. There you go. Problem solved.
Okay. There you go.
Just solved it, Adam Silver. But go have your conversations.
What about the relocation of Memphis or New Orleans?
New
or
Orleans.
Portland.
Memphis, let's keep them there. New Orleans, get them the hell out of there. Move them to Kansas City. And Minnesota or Kansas City could be an Eastern Conference team. Minnesota's kind of out on an island in the Western Conference a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense for Minnesota.
And look, you also want to have, when you do conference realignment, you want to have the short-term view and the long-term view, but the benefit is greater in the short term because you need another star in the Eastern Conference.
Edwards in the East would make that fun.
And Edwards in the East would be much better for the balance of powers that be the stars.
Can I ask you, in the aligning of stuff, what has been the hardest one? Because seeing the T-Wolves in the East would kind of break my brain.
That's a good one.
Another big one for me for a long time, I just got over that like 5-6 years ago, was the Astros in the AL, because they win against my Bravos all the time.
I still do this with the Seahawks from time to time.
You think of the Seahawks in the AFC?
I still do. I mean, yeah,
Really?
when I was growing up, they were always playing the AFC West.
Since 2002, though.
I know it's been a long time, but that's when
the Seahawks-Raiders rivalry
yes,
back
the famous Monday Night Bosworth game, like they're moments.
Elway in the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think they like the move over to the NFC. It's worked out
without
well
a doubt.
them.
It's been great for them.
Yeah.
Minnesota, to me, I mean, it would be weird. It would for sure would be weird because it's the only way we've ever known them.
Yeah, because I think they could instantly, with Ann Edwards, be in like the semis of the playoffs.
Well,
in
if
the
you
East.
go way back, the Bulls were in the Western Conference.
Before my time.
What?
Don't remember that at
Yeah,
all.
back when there was 19 teams in the NBA.
They were in the West.
Back when they
Chicago.
played the mini series, the best of 3 in
There
the
you
first
go.
round.
It should be that.
That's the way
but,
it should
yeah.
be. I just love how meager all of his answers are, and this
It was an absolute nothing burger answer.
Yeah, I just
We'll talk about votes.
Hey, Adam, we all know what's going to happen here. I know that from a leverage standpoint, you want to milk as much money out of all this as possible. We know where the teams are going. They've known where the teams are going for 5 years.
My takeaway from seeing the press conference was, because the two big takeaways were going to be tanking, expansion.
Yeah.
Those were teed up all week of this is going to be the big thing for him to talk about. He came off to me like George Kliavkoff at Pac-12 Media Day with no TV rights deal. He knew he was going to be asked about these topics specifically.
And you couldn't come up with better answers than
and
that.
he came up with maybe some of the worst answers. Here he is on tanking.
Doing whatever we can to remind them of what their obligation is to the fans and to their partner teams. But number two, as I also said in that statement, the competition committee started earlier this year re-examining the whole approach to how the draft lottery works. And ultimately, any changes will require a vote of the Board of Governors, so it then will need to go in front of the board. But there have been lots of different ideas out there over the years, not just necessarily changing the draft lottery odds yet once again, but looking at whether there's a better system here to try to align incentives. I think the point about this year, when you look at totality of the circumstances, I mean, of course, I'm paying attention to what's happening, and the perception is you have a very deep draft class this year. A perception, who knows whether this will be the reality, that the next 2 years' draft classes aren't as good. There's no doubt that's affecting the behavior of our teams.
Thanks, Adam. That's a concrete statement. Look, this might be dumb to some, but I was reading up on this weekend because no matter what, there's the million different theories out there for how you fix this, right? Flatten the odds, get rid of the odds, go to a single elimination tournament with all the losing teams.
You like the wheel idea?
There's a million of them.
Every team gets
a wheel and you spin the wheel.
You can't have back-to-back years where you're 20 or higher. You have to be like in the teens. You're in the upper tens. You're in the back end. Like, everybody takes turns.
You just rotate around.
And some years you're going to have a champion end up with the number one pick. And go, damn it, the Thunder are going to get Cam Boozer.
Which sucks. It would be a disaster.
Chet Holmgren, see you later.
I also, in reading up on this, I think that I've done a bit of a 180 on my take, and I've come to the conclusion of the biggest issue right now is the fact that the flattened lottery odds not rewarding tanking keep teams tanking. Therefore,
you mean like because the teams that are tanking haven't quite capitalized?
So let's use one team as a prime example.
Utah's a good one.
Utah's the prime example.
They've been terrible for 3 years.
Over the last 3 years has been one of the worst teams in the NBA.
And they're doing it again.
What is the best draft pick they've gotten in those 3 years?
Is it 4?
I think they were, let me see, Jazz draft history.
4 or 5.
I think they were 5 last year, right? Because Ace Bailey fell to them.
I couldn't remember.
Okay. But anyways.
They haven't had the number 1.
They have not had the number 1 overall pick. They have not had a number 2 pick, and I don't believe they've had a number 3 overall pick. So the last handful of years, hold on, scrolling, they had the 5th pick this year.
Yep.
2024, they fell all the way to 10.
Yep.
In 2023, their first year of tanking with one of the worst records in the league, they went to number 9.
Yeah.
And I've just reached the conclusion of, we are in a sport where the only way to get certain players to certain markets is via what?
For most markets,
for
it's
the
draft.
vast majority of the markets, it is the draft.
Or a stupid trade.
Can we just I'm just to the point now where let's just get rid of the lottery. Let's get rid of the odds and just do this NFL style. And if you tank and you clearly want to lose that much money that you're putting that bad of a product on the floor,
wow,
you get the number 1 pick and you get your player, and then you're out of it and you're back to relevancy in 2 years.
What if the player doesn't
hits?
hit?
Well, sure.
Then they're back in 2 years.
No doubt about it. I'm not saying it's a perfect strategy, but the problem is the majority of markets in the NBA don't have any other way to acquire the piece that they need to win at the highest level other than this. And if you have a lottery system in place that will still punish teams despite openly losing games, like, you're just stuck in it
but
forever.
You're gonna, look, I don't mind any conversation of how to fix it.
No matter what you do, there's going to be but what about this?
You're going to have multiple teams
Yes.
bottom out all the time because you'll have the Cavs drafting Anthony Bennett.
Yeah.
Somebody will go, we actually think the upside of this guy's better than the consensus number 1, so we're going to go that guy.
And then I remember the
suck.
Cavs with, who was it Ricky Howe? Who was the player who threw a shot off his own backboard for
Ricky Davis.
Ricky Davis,
for
thank
the
you.
triple-double.
I will never forget that year because the Cavs did what?
They tanked for LeBron.
Yeah, how'd that work out for him?
It worked. It worked out.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Because they got the best
they
player.
rig that lottery?
Should they go to
probably.
an entry draft system like hockey?
What's the entry draft? Can you explain that for people?
So they're eligible when they're 18 years old, and
Okay.
they hold their rights, but they can go play in the G League. They can go to college.
Can teams buy their rights like in Premier League?
No.
Would you allow that?
Like a trade
You
guys.
can
You
trade
the rights to
to
a guy.
Okay.
a guy.
So I guess technically you could, but you don't get like transfers
No,
to that
loans
level.
and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, gotcha. Okay. I mean, look,
it makes
it's
the
not a bad
TV
idea.
product that the draft is less sexy because you may not see these guys in the NBA for
Yeah, I just
well,
look,
let me ask you
years.
this. We're against it, but like, That answer was horrific. I'd rather listen to you talk about your hockey thing or you talk about
Oh,
the
from
get rid of the
Silver,
odds,
yeah.
just be bad and then lean into it. It's not like the NFL doesn't have like 5 consistently
This is the NFL's
god-awful
always done this.
teams.
And why don't we have this every year in the NFL?
And you think those fan bases appreciate what's going on? You think the Jet fans are excited for their
No.
season next year? They're going to suck.
Yeah.
But that being said, this isn't a big narrative, and because the season's longer, it's around longer for media to critique. I'm also open to a lot. I'm open to the idea of just allowing free agency and saying, Cam Boozer, do you want the most money or do you want to bypass money to be on an instant winner?
I'm
Like, what would he
intrigued by
choose
it,
there?
but terrified of it.
Like, what if the Lakers came calling and said, we can only give you $9 a year?
You know what you would get?
The Nets are in Brooklyn, and they can give you $24 a year.
Right.
What are you choosing there? He can be his own man and start his own franchise, or he can jump on a train.
Yeah.
I would rather them do that than continue to watch the amount of teams. Watch in the second half, by the way, it's going to get bad. There are so many teams purposely trying to lose, and maybe it's because of what you said, but I think they're just playing the numbers game and saying, we need the most balls. That's the best chance.
That's the game
until
that you have
happens.
to play, right? And I'm not arguing that you would get rid of tanking by changing because you would clearly get teams that would probably tank harder, knowing if we have the worst record in the
dude.
NBA.
Oh, my God.
We get the number 1 overall pick,
It'd
right?
be a borderline G League team.
But the hope would be that you wouldn't get these teams stuck in a perpetual tank year after year after year after year. And that, I think, is the biggest issue the NBA is facing. You would get different teams that would kind of rotate in and out depending on where they're at.
It's the 3 through 6 teams that would get hurt because if they can't get the top 2 of a draft that's limited,
yes,
they're probably not going to be in a position to win close.
Which
and
is
so they're gonna
why
have to keep doing it.
my hope would be that you would try and be better than that when knowing there's not really a reward for being the 6th worst team in the NBA. Where right now you could get rewarded for being the 6th worst team in the NBA, if that makes sense, right?
The
Like
Spurs did.
You
They
might
got
as well
Harper.
might as well try and be a play-in team or whatever the case because we're not going to be worse than X, Y, and Z. We almost need a full segment to discuss that idea because that is a very slippery slope that terrifies me. For
The free agency idea?
Absolutely terrifying.
You want to talk about
to
it?
even float that idea out?
We're already against it.
Let's
I'll
do
get to the Tang stuff coming up.
We had a
gotta
mail
come-
sack question on it too, so
Okay.
we can
Let's
settle
get to
that one
then.
now. 'Cause
Let's carry it over. I'm open to the idea, but I'm curious to hear your. I think you're against the stance.
As somebody who is currently wearing the jacket and doing a radio show in a small market NBA franchise,
Yes.
who may or may not have a not overwhelmingly rich owner taking over,
Right.
terrified of the idea.
Okay, let's talk about that. We'll get to that, and then we'll get to the college basketball story that happened over the weekend next on The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Brought to you by Laurelhurst Market Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. Great spot for any occasion. Don't forget you save 10% on your Butcher Shop order when you dine in. Menus and more at laurelhurstmarket.com. First on The Fan. NBA's All-Star Weekend festivities now in the rearview mirror, including Damian Lillard's record-tying third three-point contest victory. The Blazers now with a few more days to recuperate. They'll resume their schedule on Friday when they host the Denver Nuggets. The NFL preparing to head to Indianapolis for the Combine starts next week. Several teams starting to make roster moves, trying to free up cap space. The Dolphins releasing wide receiver Tyreek Hill Monday. There are 3 other players that have been reportedly told they'll be released as well, including linebacker Brandon Chubb. All those moves will create $40 million of cap space for the Fish. College hoops tonight right here on The Fan. The Oregon Ducks men finally ended a 10-game losing streak over the weekend. They'll host the Minnesota Golden Gophers tonight, 7:30 tip from Matt Knight Arena. Our pregame coverage starts at 7 o'clock on 105.1 The Fan immediately following primetime. Oregon, 4.5-point favorites. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of a.m.
All right, I didn't expect to get into the tanking thing, I guess, but here we are. Poll question's up, by the way. Of the two solutions, it's not that I don't mind Swag's idea. I like Swag's idea too.
There are no wrong answers
No.
here. It's a problem that the league has, and they need to do something about it.
Well, you just can't have a non-answer for a minute and a half.
No.
That we have to cut into 60 seconds because you're saying nothing.
It's also an embarrassment for the league. It's one thing to just have bad teams. We get there will always be bad teams.
Mm-hmm.
When you have teams who have double-digit leads going into the fourth quarter and then sit everybody in multiple games in the fourth to blow those leads in order to lose, that's the integrity of the NBA that's at question.
Yeah.
That's different than just, hey, you've never heard of 4 of the 5
Right.
guys in the lineup, and this team's probably going to lose because of that.
Between these two, which NBA draft solution would you prefer for teams and incoming players? Give worst team number 1 pick, allow free agency. Right now, 100% of the people agree with you. Give the worst team the number 1 pick. One of our listeners tagged us in a Mark Cuban tweet.
Okay, what did Mark Cuban say about
30
this?
minutes ago, he said the NBA should embrace tanking. And he went on, and I'll sum it up for you. Basically, it's not really about the NBA teams being bad. He says, when I came into the NBA, there was always bad teams.
Yes.
He is basically, his position is that you need to get good talent is your spot, right? Is how you get good talent. For most cities, it's the draft.
Yes.
He says what the NBA is struggling with right now isn't dunks, isn't shots, isn't the score from the previous night or bad teams. It's their affordability and their experience. It's interesting. It's a really long tweet, but he says basically, we didn't tank very often when I was owner, only a few times over the 23 years, but when we did, our fans appreciated it, and it got us to where we could improve trade and get Luka to improve. The NBA should worry more about fan experience than tanking. It should worry more about pricing fans out of games than tanking. You know who cares the least about tanking? A parent who can't afford to bring their 3 kids to a game and buy their kids a jersey of their favorite player. Tanking isn't the issue. Affordability and quality of game presentation are.
Agree completely with him. I do think it's an issue that, look, it's a problem for the NBA, but it's always been a problem for the NBA, right? Like, this has been a thing for as long as we've been alive that NBA teams have tried to tank. And I did see him float out the idea, and you mentioned it in the last segment, of the just allow guys to sign, right? Open free agency going into the NBA, which on the surface level is, we understand it, right? Because everybody in America has that ability. When you graduate college or you finish your whatever, your apprenticeship or your degree, whatever it might be, you have the ability to go choose where you want to go work, right? You can't, not everybody's going to get the best offer available, but if I'm in a certain industry and there's multiple people coming after me, I have the ability to say, I want to go work for them. So I think it's something that we can relate to. To me, it is such a slippery slope to a disaster. Because if I'm like, this was the funny thing of the weekend. The All-Star game was in L.A., playing at the Intuit Dome where the Clippers are playing. What have the Clippers been wrapped up in for the last handful of months?
A scandal.
Illegally paying a player, having a company come in and give him an extra however many $1 million a year to boost a little bit of cherries on top for his contract. I'm not saying directly the companies would do this, but if I worked for any massive apparel brand or marketing arm or insert big company here, and I'm representing a star in the NBA, where do I want that star to play?
Well, you want them in a big market, but I counter with you have stars right now not in big markets.
You're not wrong.
Totally fine with their business ventures off the court, and they're thriving on the court.
Of course they are, because they didn't have the choice, though. If you gave them the choice coming out of college, would they be playing for the team that they're playing for?
Well, SGA started in L.A., and he's now in Oklahoma
He got traded.
City.
It wasn't a choice to go there.
But if you showed him the two, maybe he chooses L.A. I just don't know if his personality really cares much.
I'm not saying that this would impact every player. I'm just saying it would be very easy for companies to say, we'll pay an extra $15 million on your annual benefit, your endorsement salary because we prefer you to play in New York City.
But what if you what if we merged our ideas? What if we merged?
Only a first round or the top 10 guys are drafted and then you go free agency after that?
So you take the records and you sort them out, right? So let's say Utah chooses to be the worst and then Washington's the second worst.
Yeah. Right now it's Sacramento followed by Washington and New Orleans.
And then let's take Minnesota and L.A., the Lakers and the T-Wolves, 2 really good teams.
Playoff teams.
What if you then went from worst to best and you limited the amount of money that each team can offer the incoming free agent player? So let's take Cam Boozer. He's probably going to be the number 1 pick.
Probably the number 1 pick.
Cam Boozer can make $25 million. I don't even know what the rookie scale is anymore. I've lost track of that stuff. But let's just say, let's throw a number, okay? Yeah. Cam Boozer can make $25 million a year for the Utah Jazz. Or Cam Boozer can be offered 4.5 for Minnesota.
Yeah. I mean, if it's that big of a difference, I'd imagine he would take the bigger financial
Well, where
offer.
would the NBA want him to play, though?
Sure.
They'd rather him catch lobs.
But is the gap going to be that big?
I'm just saying, like, what if you
Between 22?
merged
Cooper
an
Flag, by the
idea
way,
like
this
that?
year,
Yeah.
$13 million?
Okay.
Does that sound right?
Sure. I don't care.
Okay.
But my point
But
is,
he was
like,
the number one pick, so I was using
what
that
if
as an
you
example.
stacked?
This would be my other fear, though. The other part of this is that in order for smaller markets to get certain guys to incentivize them, what would you have to do? You would have to overpay.
You are going to overpay. You would overpay for Cam Boozer if you're Portland right now.
You, of course, would.
You would trade.
But in this scenario,
players
are
to
we
go
just
get Cam
talking
Boozer.
number one pick money, or are we talking bigger than that? Are we talking you're only giving him what the allotment would be for the number one overall pick, or would you have to overpay on top of that?
You'd
because
have to
then
adjust to it.
It's the slippery slope of what if the guy's a bust and I just gave him $30 million a year guaranteed?
Why is that?
Because that's the only ability I have to get a player of that caliber coming out of college.
But you just argued for the worst teams to get the number one pick
and pay them the rookie scale contract.
Okay.
You're not paying him. This is the problem of a.
But
of
would
a
you take the role of the
Sam
dice?
Bradford? Here's $70 million guaranteed.
Right. But
what are we doing here?
You're rolling the dice as a bad franchise that's irrelevant and never going to attract a free agent.
Sure.
So you're Portland, you're Charlotte's, you're Detroit's, you're fill in the blanks. We all know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
If I told you right now that Joe Cronin and the Blazers can give Cam Boozer $25 million,
of course
and
I
it
would say
lock him
yes.
up, you would sign up all day.
Of
And
course I would say
why
yes.
would you care about the salary cap? You're not paying it. It ain't my luxury tax bill. I
Because
want a chance to go get the best guy.
Of course.
So that's why I'm saying it's a
I want
merge
to
of the
earn
ideas.
it. I want to earn it by eating poop sandwiches for a year and being the worst team in the NBA.
I'd rather
and give me
just-
the number one overall
I'd
pick.
rather overpay.
Because you're not going to be the only team that tries to overpay. And how many times
That's
are
why I'm
guys
saying
actually
you would limit it.
Sure, but by how many teams?
You go top 10 and then
So it's
as you go
Charlotte,
on.
Portland, Sacramento,
Yeah.
New Orleans. This team that's now there's 8 teams that can offer
It's a
you $25
$1 million
million.
drop off every team.
Every single team.
Yeah.
Why do we get to offer them the most money? Are we the worst team in the NBA?
Just hypothetical.
If that's the case, then just give me the number one overall pick and let me pick him. Because what if he wants to stay closer to home and takes $3 million less to play for the Hornets instead of playing for the Blazers?
His home. Where's his home?
Would anybody ever choose
He's from
to come
Miami.
here?
He's in Duke. He doesn't have a home.
Would
His
anybody-
home is the money, baby.
Would anybody ever choose to come here? We don't live in Los Angeles.
Oh, I mean, if you offer more money than the market, yeah.
Okay. So we got to do the Evan Turner thing?
I mean, you hope he's not Evan Turner. You hope that he's the product that everybody says he's going to be. I feel like we're merging our ideas, but you're hating your own.
I'm terrified. I'm terrified of what
Well,
it
they're
would
not
do
gonna
to the
do my
NBA.
idea.
No, they're not. No, Silver literally said that they're contemplating it.
Yeah,
He
they're
literally said at a press conference, we're open to all things, including just abolishing the draft.
Because he had no thing to say. That's why he said that. He's more likely to take your idea than my idea.
Yeah, just get rid of it, dude. Worst team in the NBA, number one pick. There you go.
Hey, speak in your mind. Get some fired. Next on The Fan.
It's time for Who's Stinking It Up?
Do not go in there.
A sports lowlight, ripped from the headlines.
We couldn't do diddly poo.
Brought to you by Three Mountains Home Services. Schedule your appointment online at threemountainshomservices.com.
But to try to dispute and try to create some type of narrative that he didn't fulfill his contract, that is absolutely embarrassing to K-State, the athletic department, the administration.
Yeah, there's Seth Greenberg. We're going to get to that story coming up next. The head coach of Kansas State men's basketball, Jerome Tang, got fired this weekend because his team sucks, and he basically said they're an embarrassment. So they fired him.
Yeah, talk about do-re-mi. This might end up costing Kansas State a lot of money because I don't know how you argue that's for cause, but
Well, their argument actually is interesting with
going
this
to go in front of a
contract.
judge. We'll wait and see.
Who's stinking it up? Kansas State and Jerome Tang, brought to you by Three Mountains Home Services. Our friends at Three Mountains Home Services are back with an amazing offer. Buy an AC and get the furnace absolutely free, but only for a limited time. Year-round comfort starts now. Visit threemountainshomservices.com today.
And
All right, we'll get out of the hypothetical. What should they do? Your idea sucks. My idea sucks.
You're an idiot.
You're an idiot.
Somebody asked him, why is this only a problem in basketball? And I would point to, it's not only it's just such a problem in baseball that we might have a lockout because there's so many teams that actively don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
They want to implement a salary floor because there's
Well,
teams who have a lower payroll than one player on the Dodgers.
Biggest problem in basketball, there are so few franchise-changing players available. And one player can affect
Changes
a
everything.
team much more than
Because there's only 5, yeah.
There's only 5, and they play both ways, and yeah.
Quick heads up for you guys. Fan Madness is back.
What?
You join the Fan Thursday, March 19th, and Friday, March 20th for the 2 most exciting days of basketball at Tom's Watch Bar and A Casino Resort in Ridgefield. We'll be out there on the 20th. The firm of Harrison Meringue will be out there. The Fan Happy Hour and Primetime with Isaac and Sue Call broadcasting live throughout the day. Don't miss a minute of the action. Play hooky with the Fan for Fan Madness. Brought to you by A&A and Window Nation, March 19th and 20th at A&A Casino and Resort.
Hell yeah, brother. Can't wait.
So I saw this story a couple days ago, and I actually laughed out loud watching the press conference. I guess Kansas State men's basketball is god-awful.
I'll take your word for it. They fired their coach. That's all I know about them. And then this story.
Well, they're dead last in the Big 12. They're
Okay.
1-12, I think, now.
It's a good basketball conference.
Yeah, well, it used to be a good school not long ago. He got this team to an Elite 8.
He did. He
Jerome
went in,
Tang.
he was dancing on the floor. He was going up into the student section.
Yeah.
There was a tweet out there circulating that he is the best thing that's ever happened to Kansas State basketball.
Well, then his team lost again in blowout fashion, I think against Cincinnati, and he got to the postgame, and I wanted to pull specifically the beginning of the press conference. So it gives you an idea. Just listen to the beginning of the press conference and where he finishes his statement.
Hey, I'm gonna honor Christ like I always do. Blessed to do this, but this was embarrassing. These dudes do not deserve to wear this uniform. There will be very few of them in it next year. I'm embarrassed for the university. I'm embarrassed for our fans, our student section. You know, it is just ridiculous. We got practice at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, and we will get this thing right. I have no answer, no words. So y'all got 2 questions. So whoever want to ask 2 questions, I'll answer them to the best of my ability right now. But right now, like I'm like pissed, and this is all right. Questions.
Nothing more Christ-like than telling you that your players suck and don't deserve to wear a jersey. Nothing more Christ-like. This did not age well for Jerome Tang. He was fired literally the next day. They were like, no, actually, you're not going to wear the jersey. You're an embarrassment.
Yeah.
And now they're going to be in a dispute and a disagreement about his contract, his buyout. His buyout's pretty sizable for a college basketball
They
coach.
fired him for cause.
Well, did you see the cause?
No, what's the cause?
It's basically
the clause in the cause? The cause of the clause?
The cause of the clause is that they stayed in the contract if he publicly says anything embarrassing to the university.
How's this embarrassing to the university? Saying our team sucks? It's just saying a fact.
I don't know how this holds up in court.
You're the worst team in the Big 12. He said you're a bad team. How's that embarrassing? It's embarrassing that
He said
the worst
the players
team...
are an embarrassment and they don't deserve to wear the jersey. You could make an argument, whether you're on his side or not, that
They're
the
gonna
university
have to in
perspective is
court.
embarrassed.
I mean, they're going to have to argue it in court because he's going to
it's definitely going to
sue
court.
the rat. He already hired a lawyer and he basically
the
said...
problem for Kansas State now is how do you go find another top-flight head coach at
After
the
this,
university if you come out
Just
and,
speaking his mind after a game. They got killed. It's a coach
he
that's
didn't
being very
cuss
honest and
anybody
open.
out. He didn't
assault a
call
kid.
any particular one player out.
Did you see what his lawyer, by the way, said?
I didn't.
You ready for this? So
They're
he
gonna
hired
like that university.
Tom Mars and Bennett Spire, who I guess are big-time attorneys in this kind of field. Their statement to ESPN was, quote, if Kansas State's president and athletic director really think the school was embarrassed by recent events, that's nothing compared to the embarrassment that both of them are about to experience.
Oh, my
What does that mean? I have my popcorn. I want to watch this. You know what this was?
Put this on Court TV, dude. I'd watch that.
You know me. I'm not following college hoops too close. See games here or there, tournament times.
Did you
right
watch
on the
Iowa State last night?
I had it on. Yeah, when you texted, they were saying something, and I was like, "Oh, let's go check it out."
That started getting me ready for tournament time.
Yeah, that was a good game.
So you mentioned Jerome Tang going to the Elite Eight. He made the Elite Eight his first year at Kansas State, 22-23. It was a moment. The Tang man.
It was not that long ago, man.
No, it was not. You know how many tournament runs they've had in the last 3 years?
0? Yeah.
We
know that well.
This is a program that has bottomed out.
Yeah, it has.
That is now the worst in their conference.
Yeah.
That was waiting for an opportunity of how do we fire this guy without paying $18 million to do it?
Yeah.
Oh, we got
embarrassing.
it. $18 million.
Yeah.
We're going to have to pay it.
Right.
Now
You're mean.
you're going to have to pay it.
Mean.
How is that embarrassing to the university? He was
I-
speaking factually.
You're not wrong. They were waiting for an opportunity, and he finally had reached a breaking point, which, look, as a coach, every coach has had this
Yes.
thought or this
God,
feeling,
we suck.
right?
Get off of my team. You know what they did?
We got him, boys.
Boys.
We got him.
There's no doubt that's what this really was about.
Uh-huh.
I would also argue this is pretty eye-opening because this is a clear indication of the NIL era.
Yeah.
The players mean more than the coach. And if push comes to shove, they don't want any chance to lose out on players. Now, look, he's not a Shire. He's not a Patino. He's not one of those guys. But I was like, oh, man, he threw his kids under the bus because his team played poorly and is really bad. They fired him? Usually the coach is the one that gets away to say this.
Yes.
And the players are the ones that
A lot
"Get
of
outta
coaches
here."
can get away
Remember
with this.
Patino?
Yeah, a lot of coaches
He had
can do
something
this.
like this at St. John's. He's
did.
like, these kids won't even be back next year.
Literally last year, he said, none of you care enough, none of you play hard
Yeah.
enough. No, like he did literally the same thing.
Yeah.
And they were better. They weren't the worst team in the conference, but nobody said that's embarrassing for St. John's.
Right.
We all just said, I'm kind of believing what the coach is saying. He's
Yeah.
seeing it every day in practice.
Yeah.
I'm buying what he's selling right now.
I saw an old clip of Bob Knight. The biggest growth for a player? Ass to bench. Nothing will motivate a player more than when bench meets ass.
Or when I punch them in the face at practice.
It was funny to watch the clip. All the media.
Oh, Bob.
It's like 10 years
Bob.
later.
What a great guy.
Punched kids in the face.
What a great guy. Never physically assaulted a player. Definitely never did that.
Jerome Tang.
Have fun with that court case. I think
Yeah.
he's going to win. Get that money back.
Dude,
Baby.
I'm not kidding. We need to televise these hearings.
I'd watch every second
I
of
would
this.
watch it
There will
all
be
the
board
time.
of trustees or lawyers that step in and go, this is never seeing a courtroom worth settling.
What is the number that we can come to, Jerome, that will keep you from fully? Do you need every penny
the
of
only
it?
thing is
Can I get
Jerome-
12 million? Would 12 million be enough?
The buyout was
Jerome wants
19?
the whole thing.
Yeah, he's going to want the whole thing.
And their lawyers are geared up.
Yep.
Let's see what his buyout was.
I thought it was like 18 and a half
I think it's
million.
18,
Somewhere in that,
19.
yeah,
I think
18
it's
to
in that
19
range.
million dollars.
Would you take? Yeah, it's 18.7.
Yeah.
16 and it's done.
If you're Jerome Tang, to Swag's point, why would you say yes?
I would go talk to my lawyers. I go, do they have a leg to stand on anywhere?
What's the percentage chance I have of losing the case?
If a lawyer publicly basically threatens a institution and they're offering you 16 without going,
Also, how much is he paying his
I
lawyers?
was
So
going
that
to
could
say
be a part of it too.
That
like,
tells me that you're going to pay $2 million in
for
lawyer
your
fees.
lawyers.
So
Let's save the trouble.
But
Give me
if they
16.
win-
Call it a
But
day.
if they win the case, the losing
Has to
side
pay.
pays the legal fees.
you're right.
Very
There
true.
you go. You're right. I'm going all the way then. If my lawyer puts out that statement, I've got the most confidence in you as a lawyer.
Dude, it's one thing if you did something bad off the court, if there's allegations, if they're like, and you got fired for cause for that, like, don't fight it. Just leave, please, quietly. He just said his team sucked.
Yeah. Well, they do.
They do.
He's the coach. All right, a lot to get to in the third hour, of the program. The fourth hour, we'll get to the mail sack. So get the mail sack questions in to the fan text line. We got football notes to get to, a little Olympic stuff to get to. Loaded third hour, Dirt and Sprague 105.1 The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. First on the Fan, Damian Lillard's a record-tying third three-point contest victory. The highlight for Blazer fans from All-Star Weekend. Now Portland will get a few more days to recuperate before resuming their season Friday when the Denver Nuggets come to Moda Center. College hoops tonight for you on the Fan. The Oregon Ducks men ended their 10-game losing streak over the weekend. They'll host the Minnesota Golden Gophers tonight, 7:30. Tip from Matt Knight Arena. Our pregame coverage starts at 7 p.m. right here on 105.1 The Fan, immediately following primetime. Oregon 4.5-point favorites. Over on 910 ESPN Portland, it's top-ranked Michigan visiting number 7 Purdue. 3:30 p.m. tip. Pregame coverage at 3:15. The Wolverines a 3.5-point favorite. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the Fan. Network.
Hey, welcome back in. Hour number 3. Dirt and Sprague here, Portland Sports Leader, 105.1 FM. The Fan, 1080 AM, the Odyssey app, live on YouTube. Good morning, everybody.
Take your hands and put it down your pants, son.
Got a lot to get to in the next 2 hours of radio. Some football nuggies to get to from the weekend. Lots going on. Some in the college world, some in the NFL world. Got some random odds and ends that I don't know if they're all worthy of a full segment, but still noteworthy nonetheless that I would like to bring up. So we got a lot to get to. Let's start, though. Can we do a quick check-in with what's going on over in the Winter Olympics? Would you like a Winter Olympics check-in? Because I know you're not watching any of it.
I'm following it.
I will edge you. You want a heads up on here's what's been happening?
You guys alerted me to the men's hockey team struggling at the beginning. You were like, Kurkowski should have stopped that soft shot. And I was like,
Kurkowski gave up a goal from the neutral zone, dude. You can't be giving up neutral zone goals.
I didn't see that. I saw the score, and I went, they're losing, and then they ended up blowing them out. The women hockey team should be getting all of the attention. They're dominating, man.
When's the gold medal game, USA-Canada?
I believe it's tomorrow.
It'll be a fun one.
That I will be watching.
Remember, they beat them 5-0, but Canada's best player did not play earlier in the...
Bring it on,
So now she is back, and so it'll be a stiffer competition.
The uniforms are...
just exquisite.
The all blues,
exquisite uniforms.
Perfect.
For those wondering, in the Olympic Village this year, the free condoms that were distributed inside the Olympic Village were gone in a matter of 3 days.
There you
go. The athletes are saying that more have been promised to arrive, but who knows when they will be here. And so people are getting a little frustrated that their free condom supply ran out after 3 days.
Talk about an event I'd watch between athletes. That's a gold medal event.
4 years of built up,
man,
anger and excitement and anxiousness, and then you finally finish your event, and
now
you're
what
having a good time.
Sport is probably using them the most? It's got to be like the cardio sports, right?
You would imagine they're in shape.
Unless
and
it's
just
the curlers
going at it like bunny rabbits.
You know.
Well, we do have curling news. You want to get to your curling news? I got a lot in my Olympic notes.
Yeah.
You ready for this?
Unload it.
We have multiple accusations of cheating.
I've seen this story
in curling.
How about that?
By
double touching
one country in particular.
Exactly.
Those damn Canadian bastards.
Now this Canadian team's good though, right?
Well,
and they're still
are
being
they
alleged of
good,
being cheaters,
or are they only good because they're double touching?
Historically, one of the better curling nations.
Because the guy being alleged of cheating is like, dude, we're really good. I've never cheated, and I'm offended by
this. Is ludicrous.
Well, he dropped F-bombs right in the middle of the match. It was awesome.
So they started hollering at each other. So Canada and Sweden were going at it in men's curling.
Yes.
I don't know how many guys are on a men's curling team. Four by fours. Okay, that's what we call them. They're in this middle of a curling game. And essentially what is happening, for those who don't know, the rules of curling is as you're gliding to release the stone, you're going to
push off the hack.
You push off the hack. You got to get a good hack push.
Right.
Once you release the hack push and you're no longer touching the stone, guess what?
Can't touch it again.
It's a no touchies.
And you have to release it before you get to the hog line.
So there's the hog line there. We got to, we can shout out our hoggies here. We're following all. I love how Swag looks at us.
Shout out the hoggies.
When we ask Olympic questions, like we're idiots for not knowing. They just had a 3x3 skate thing going on, and I'm like,
speed skating team.
What's going on? What's the deal with this?
thing.
And Swag's like, well, it's just like the cycling thing in the summer. And I'm like, you think we know about the cycling? You think I'm watching indoor cycling in the Summer Olympics? I digress. So you release the stone, hog line, right? We're all following.
Yeah.
Can't touch it again. There is camera angles that show the Canadian players
with his index finger.
Just one more little, just a little.
On the granite. So the handles, when they go close up,
the
you'll
handle
see
hangs over a
little
little
tiny like lights, a red and a green light. So the handle has a sensor in it to know that if it let go
Like
of
the
or was
bowling
still
line.
holding
In time.
but not on the stone. So the guy was then giving the finger to the stone.
Well,
Giving it a little tickle, right?
Back to what they've been using a lot in Olympic Village.
Exactly.
Probably coming fresh off a sesh.
Your fingers are sharp and you're
Right.
using a little more tickle.
Right.
And then, so Sweden sees this and they say, we have video to prove that you are cheating.
Exactly.
A shouting match ensues back and forth in the middle of the curling match. Yeah, Sure. Okay. Allow it. And then afterwards, Canada turned around and said, you know what, Sweden? You're illegally filming the hog line. You're not allowed to film the hog line.
No, there's no
and the
video
footage
in
is
curling.
coming from the stands.
There's two umpires that are
That's
out
it.
there that
So they
I
got
don't
a
know
dude
what
sitting
they're
in the
doing.
stands who's just zooming in on the hog line. They got our who was our Michigan guy? Our cheater? What was his name? The football guy.
Connor Stallions.
Stallions.
Stallion. They have a Stallions in the stands filming the hog line to show that Canada is cheating, and a shouting match ensued. And this has been one of the highlights of the Winter Olympics for me
The
so
video's
far.
out there, and
They're
you got
clearly
Canadian guys telling the Swedes to F off.
Yes.
It's awesome.
They're
Right in the
clearly
middle of the match.
They're clearly cheating. The video proves that he's touching the stone
yes.
one more time with his finger. Don't put your fingers in the stone.
Now, in the curling department, big news was that we beat Sweden, didn't we? That was what I saw.
The men?
Yeah, the men. The 4x4?
I'm just giving you the updates that I got. That's all I got.
So you're not watching very closely?
I'm watching the men's hockey and then whatever else is on during the show. Men and women's hockey. Men and women's hockey and whatever's on during the show is what I'm watching.
So you're not going home and like turning it on? And,
Nah,
yeah,
that's
me
not good
either.
of it. No,
Me either.
not happening.
What I've enjoyed is like I was just going to read a funny tweet because I saw the thing that said the U.S. beat the Swedes, the defending champs. And Swag like looked at me dumbfounded as if he'd never heard that happened before.
Are we sure that this happened? Can you find us, like, when did this take? What was the event? Was it doubles, men's, women's?
It says U.S.
Because the
men's
mixed
curling
one
team,
is done.
ABC News.
Yeah, mixed one's all done.
Mixed one's done.
This
So
is
the
the men.
U.S. right now, the men are 4-3 in group play. Sweden's 1-6, so they're
It's a pretty
losing
surreal
everybody.
experience. It's an NBC Olympic page. It's like it says if you told USA curler Ben Richardson a year ago his team would defeat Sweden at the Olympics, I'd probably be pinching myself. I told Swag this to read a tweet, and Swag's like,
Well, he's
what?
saying they're 1-6, so why is it a big deal to beat Sweden?
Yeah,
Because they won the
USA
gold.
beat them 8-5.
8-5.
That
Okay.
was on
Saturday. Yeah,
Okay.
Sunday,
right.
the 15th.
Sunday.
But what I love
Sunday.
is we not watching, and he's watching, and he doesn't know, and we don't know, and now we're finding out in real time with highlight videos or controversy. I mean, I've watched more of the women's hockey than I have the men's, unfortunately.
I mean, the
And
men's
that's
games
about
haven't.
timing.
The men's games have been interesting for about 24 minutes, and then it's like, all right, that got settled.
So
It's
the
not like
women's-
the women are struggling.
Yeah.
They're dominating.
They're just blowing
dominant.
everybody out.
Yeah.
The
Sure.
women's final is Thursday at 10 a.m.
Okay, Thursday at 10 a.m. Thank you very much. Right when we get off the air. Two more quick nuggies in my Olympic updates, and then we'll go. These are both men's hockey related. One of them hilarious. The other one, just picture this, and it's funny to think about. So Slovakia was playing Sweden. And once you get out of, this is in men's hockey, when you get out of the group stage or, you're going to advance into the
Knockout,
quarterfinals, right? Goal differential is a huge thing. So Sweden is playing Slovakia. They're up 5-2 late in the game. Slovakia scores a goal to make it 5-3. Now, Sweden's still very much in charge. There's only 2 minutes left in the game. They're not going to lose it. But the Slovakia scoring the goal allowed them to jump Sweden in their group in goal differential by scoring one more goal. So I saw something that I don't know if I've ever seen before, and that was Sweden with a 2-goal lead pulled their goalie.
to allow the
No, they wanted to try and go
to get
score
the-
to get
yeah.
another goal to get goal
Gotcha.
differential. And so they ended up winning the game 5-3, and then Slovakia celebrated as if they had, because they won the group.
Yeah.
And Sweden didn't. And so they have to play an early game before Slovakia does.
point differential.
It's really dumb.
Well, the All-Star game had this.
It did.
The final game, the Stars team needed to win by 6 or more in order to win the whole thing. Now, they ended up blowing them out. It was like 31-9 at one point.
Yeah.
But if they would have won the game against the Stripes by 5, the Stripes would have won. And I just thought, you can't have an end result come down to differential. You got to play extra stuff.
What are we doing here?
Put like a minute on the clock. 1 minute for all the marbles. Let's go. We'll see what happens here. Because differentials, it's such a bummer to have differentials.
It was so, I've never experienced, because I'm watching, they're up by 3 with 3 minutes to go in the game, and then they give up a goal in Slovakia celebrating because they technically won, because the goal differential was better despite losing the game. Can I also ask you to wrap your head around this? Okay, last thing, and then we'll go. So I'm obviously glued to the men's hockey. Sidney Crosby playing in what is I don't know if he's announced it, but very likely his final Olympics, right? Been around forever.
He's winding down the career anyway.
Like, he's up there in age. We're not going to do this again for another 4 years. There was a massive injury to Fiala, which is a big deal that we might not even get NHL players back, because there was a dirty hit from Tom Wilson, and he basically shattered his leg, and he's out the rest of the year. He's an LA King, so good luck with that. But this story came out from Brad Marchand, who is a Canadian rat. Everybody hates him in the NHL. He's a Canadian playing on their team. He told a story about how when he was a kid, he's a couple years younger than Sidney Crosby. This is how big of a deal Sidney Crosby was. When he was 10 years old playing junior hockey against 13-year-olds, he was such a big deal as a 10-year-old.
Sidney was?
Sidney was, as a already prospect, like a household name in Canada as a 10-year-old, that Brad Marchand was like 7 at the time, and his parents drove him multiple hours away to go watch a peewee hockey game to learn from Sidney Crosby when he was 10.
I mean, you got a prodigy like that at that age.
Like, what are we going to go do this weekend? I'm going to go watch a 10-year-old play hockey.
It's unbelievable.
And he said it was like it was the biggest deal to go see him, and he scored, like, in the game, I think he said he scored 9 goals, and his team won 10-0.
Of course.
He had 9 goals and an assist, and they dominated, and he did everything. Just the idea of going and watching a 10-year-old to pick things up as another kid. Like, not like, hey, he's my nephew, I'm going to go watch his game. I'm going to go learn from this guy. He's 10 years old. Just seeing that, because he told that after their last game, blew my mind.
Canadians on one of their power plays on whoever they were killing over the weekend.
They beat Italy 10-1.
I thought I saw, and correct me if I'm wrong, Crosby, McKinnon, McDavid, and Celebrini all on the same power play unit.
I'm not even a big hockey guy.
I don't think we're going to win gold. Breaking news, I don't think we're going to win gold, but I'd love to be wrong.
We need a goalie to be standing on their head. That's how we're going to win a goal.
2 events I didn't watch, but I've enjoyed listeners tagging us in videos. One of them was like, this is a Sprague line pick if there ever was one. It was downhill slalom skis racing.
Was the one with the gal finished backwards?
Yeah,
she won the race backwards.
Almost crashed, and she just finished through the line backwards and accidentally won.
Yeah.
That was great. And the other one was a speed skating event of men, and literally of the 4 or 5 of them, they wiped out, and the guy in the very back crosses like he's Bruce Jenner, and he's dominated the field.
I did it!
Like, you can't have a medal winner like that. That's ridiculous. We're re-racing if it's my call.
If everybody crashes that late in the race,
we're re-racing.
Nah, dude,
You're not winning like that.
No countsies. Look at Australia winning a speed skating gold medal. They're known. They're a powerhouse. They're a juggernaut. So there you go. There's your update on the Olympics. I figured people would be curious. That's what we've been watching and what we've been following. Let's get to a couple of football notes, including no franchise tag for this player and some other odds and ends out of the NFL. We'll dive into a couple of college football nuggies at the bottom of the hour. Is this the right move, and how much will it cost considering all the other moves that have to take place? That's next on The Fan. All right, coming up in 10 minutes, how desperate are you? Are you this desperate? Explain that. Also, everybody says it's a bad idea. Now we have the bullet points behind the bad idea. Is it still as bad as we thought it was? Did you know, though, that the Front Row Card Show is back? Look at us. Cards, baby. Love trading cards, man. I can't wait till Teddy gets into cards. It's February 28th and March 1st at the Oregon Convention Center. 440 tables of cards, comics, collectibles. Buy, sell, trade, and get your cards graded and find great deals on sports memorabilia, autographs, and other collectibles. Tickets are available now, but text in CARDS, that's C-A-R-D-S, to 503-864-6326 for your chance to win a pair of VIP tickets to either Saturday or Sunday show. Find more information at frontrowcardshow.com. This came out earlier today. We all got our eyes on the off-season of the NFL. There's never an off-season, right? It just keeps going, and there's always something in the news. Next week, we get the Combine going on. So you get guys performing, and where does their stock go? Or is it going up? Is it going down?
Yeah, we are efforting for Dane Berugler.
It's a big one, right? Combine week. We all get to watch guys work out in underpants, and that's a very exciting time for all of us. This came out earlier today, and I don't know if it's a surprise to some. Maybe not. Maybe it is.
Okay.
Adam Schefter reporting that the Seattle Seahawks, the Northwest-owned Super Bowl champions, are very unlikely to use their franchise tag on the MVP of the Super Bowl, Kenneth Walker. He's going into he's a free agent. They have multiple people they want to re-sign, and basically saying they're also going to work this offseason towards a massive extension towards the number one wide receiver, some would argue in the NFL, the Offensive Player of the Year in JSN. And so as all of these different costs are piling up, they have decided that a franchise tag in the spot of a running back is not the ideal use of it, and that then leads, I think, the door open for the MVP of the game to potentially leave, because I'd imagine somebody's going to be willing to pay up a little bit more than what Seattle is going to offer. But it was an interesting update on a team who has a lot of guys on rookie scale contracts still, which is kind of the math in order to win. They got a quarterback who's not costing them as much as some other quarterbacks, and they're going to have to start paying the piper a little bit this offseason, and maybe Kenneth Walker's the first casualty of that.
I think that's what's interesting to watch with that team is who's going to get paid. If JSN is going to command, which is also an interesting thing. I would imagine they're going to pay JSN.
He's got to be number one, right? If you're JSN and you're negotiating, you want to be the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL, I'd imagine.
I mean, hold this if it's wrong. I doubt he's taking a pay cut. That guy has earned every bit the penny of any top-flight receiver in the league. He was remarkable this year, the Offensive Player of the Year.
Jamar Chase just signed a deal last offseason, paying him $40 million a year. That is number one in the average per year basis.
I go back. Do you not go back and forth on that position of pay, not pay, pay, not pay?
So I'll just give you, here's the top five.
That guy, you need that guy, but can you thrive without that guy?
Let's ask these questions. Here are the top five highest paid wide receivers in the NFL.
And then
this isn't an overall. This is a per year basis.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase, number one, 40.2.
No playoffs.
Justin Jefferson, number two, 35.
No playoffs.
CeeDee Lamb, number three, 34.
No playoffs.
DK Metcalf, 33. Number four.
Wild card and out.
Yeah. Technically no playoffs. And Garrett Wilson's number 5 on this list at 32.5.
Yeah.
After that, you go to Terry McLaurin, 6.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown, 7.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, 8.
Yeah.
Brandon Ayuk, 9.
Oh.
Tied with Tyreek Hill, 9.
Yeah.
And then T. Higgins, technically 10 or 11, depending how you wanted to find it.
Of the top 11, you're looking at like 2 guys who were in the playoffs this year, and all of them, if it wasn't 2 or 3, they didn't have a chance to win.
No.
So I'm not saying
it's not their fault, but is it the fault of the finances?
I mean, maybe you take your defense seriously in Cincinnati. We wouldn't be talking about this as much because T. Higgins and Jamar Chase would both be in the playoffs.
Maybe you keep Darnold if you're Minnesota, and then they would have been in the playoffs.
That's the tough. Yeah, Jefferson was in it last year. I think that's the tough part. Is I'm not, holding it against the receivers for not making the playoffs. It's just it's an interesting conversation of you obviously want an elite guy at that position because of the game-breaking ability.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you get in these matchups, and what do you see teams do? They zero in, and you got to find other ways to win. Kenneth Walker not getting a tag is, I think Seattle's going to figure out something here that's smart. Want a hot take? Seattle's operating very smartly.
They've done a really good job.
Wondered a lot about John Schneider, wonder where Seahawk fans were. Some Seahawk fans were like, hey, man, why don't we do something here? Other Seahawk fans were still in the trust tree. Mm-hmm. They ended up being right on this. They won the Super Bowl. So I would imagine if they're not tagging him, they're going to work something out. And if he's going to get overpaid,
let him get overpaid and go find somebody else.
He was great for you. You won a Super Bowl with it. It was worth it. But you're not going to overpay for the position.
No. I mean, we didn't act, but we wondered aloud, would the Charbonnet injury hamper their ability to run the football?
Didn't matter at all.
And he ended up having an MVP of the Super Bowl be the running back in the game.
Right. I can't imagine he's going to get Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley money. So
I wouldn't think so.
You figure out a deal and you address the other holes that your roster is going to need this offseason.
I'm with you, though. I think the running back thing will sort itself out. Charbonnet will be back next year. I believe he's still under contract for another year. So you got one of your top two backs who returns, and then they've also done a really good job finding guys. I think that their offensive line is only going to continue to get better, right? Like you have some young guys who are still up front.
Get the right side of your line figured out, which it sounds like they will in the draft.
Yes, that's a more important issue than paying Kenneth Walker over market value. And if somebody wants to pay a lot for him, go ahead, do it.
By the way, average annual value at the running back position.
Yeah.
Similar theme to the receiver, if you'd like.
Oh, sure. I bet a lot
Saquon Barkley, $20.6 million a year.
Year ago, great. Now, no.
Yeah, got a Super Bowl out of that.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey, $19 million a year.
Hell of a player, but
hell of a player.
One playoff one.
Right. Derrick Henry, no playoffs.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor, no playoffs.
No playoffs.
Alvin Kamara,
no playoffs.
So it's like it's not their fault.
No.
But it also just goes to show like
all those guys are incredible football players. But it's just the idea of how you – and that's why I think your point on JSN is like –
You have to pay him.
You have to.
You have to.
But I also think you would acknowledge there is a inherent fear in that, right? Of if we
it's going to limit some positions, yes.
certain resources to one position. It doesn't mean that he's going to fall off. I think he's young. He's like, dude, that guy's going nowhere. He's going to be and none of these wide receivers have. Like, Garrett Wilson doesn't have a functional quarterback, so it's a little unfair to him.
But some of them there's one on the list they literally got rid of in Seattle because they didn't want to deal with stuff. And then what happened this year?
Yeah.
It's not all his fault. The guy sounds like a douchebag from Detroit.
Right.
But he gets suspended for multiple games. Like, you don't want the guy that Miami decided this. You don't want the boneheaded guy.
Does not have the vibe of being that guy. Would we agree on that? Now it's early, but as of right now,
because he's still early in his career, some of these guys, as we see with that position, they developed it. And I'm not saying JSN will.
No.
There's no indication he will.
No.
But you see some of these guys that you never think about doing it, and then they become like, hey, I'm the dude here. And so it's just a matter of like how successful are you going to be in your drafts? Can you hit the positions of need, as we saw with John Schneider? Sometimes you go through multiple versions of a franchise before you get another one of those trophies, if you can get another one of those trophies. And for a few years there, what was the criticism of him? It was missing on draft picks.
Especially on the offensive line.
But then the last couple years, to their credit, they hit, and then they added the right pieces in the right places.
It shows even for the brightest of minds how much of a total crapshoot it actually is.
Yes.
And that you could have stretches, because when Schneider won the first title, it was, oh my God, look at all these value, the draft grade, the D. And then that defense wins him a Super Bowl. And then they're kind of, you lean on that for a while, and you got Russell Wilson out of the deal. But then it was, man, we just need to land one offensive lineman with a heartbeat, and we'll be able to win at a high level. And they couldn't do it for a long time.
The defense regressed.
Yeah. And then and then the last 3 years, what have they done in the draft? They've hit absolute home runs, it seems like, with every pick.
Right.
And here they are back in the Super Bowl. Now the idea, it's a great problem to have. You've drafted a guy who turned into one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. The difficulty is now with all of these positions is, all right, we got to pay him X amount this offseason on an extension. Where does that eat up salary cap space elsewhere, and who are the casualties of that? Because he's not making a ton of money now, and he's maybe on the horizon. Like, if he asks for breaking Chase's contract, you got to do it, don't you?
And imagine they would, because here's the good part for them. One, Schneider has an ability to pivot when people aren't expecting a pivot. And two, even if Darnold gets extended, I can't imagine that they're going to do they're ever going to do a Herbert-like contract for Sam Darnold. So you have to take into account, what are you saving in the quarterback contract market on the quarterback spot, the most expensive spot.
What if he wins another Super Bowl next year? He's not asking for a discount at that point. If he wins another one next year, if I'm Sam Darnold, I'm saying give me $70 million a year, dude. I just won back-to-back Super Bowls. Are you kidding me?
And that I'm just
and
saying,
maybe
like,
they
Schneider
do the
might
Schneider
be like,
thing again.
Okay, well then we'll just go find the next guy, because our coach is a defensive guru. We're just gonna hire every single coach that's ever coached under Kyle Shanahan.
Yes.
They hired an OC this weekend from San Francisco.
They did.
Like, so maybe they're just going to take the best of Kyle Shanahan and then plug it into their McDonald defensive wizard brain and just go on a run.
They've hacked the system? Is that what you're telling me?
They've hacked the system from San Francisco. Now they dominate the Rams. Like, maybe that's the pivot. But, yeah, I think because of the savings they have at Darnold with quarterback, they can look at this and say, all right, we have Byron Murphy's going to get paid.
Yep.
Right? Witherspoon's definitely got to get paid.
Yep. A lot of these, once you get into that year 2, year 3, year 4, it's when you got to make those calls.
Unless Woolen comes to an agreement on some team-friendly deal, I wouldn't be shocked if they said, thanks, but all right, we'll have to wait and see on that one. But because of where they've hit in other spots, they got to pay some of these guys. The offensive line's going to continue to – if Zabel keeps playing this way, he's going to get paid.
Yep.
It's just like how much can you save at the quarterback position, which I think a lot of teams are trying to figure out. Even though the cap is going up in a big way, you're seeing a lot of teams get more smart, I think, on the quarterback contract stuff.
Darnold also does not strike me as the kind of guy this offseason that will say, let's restructure that deal. I think he signed a 3-year deal, about $30 million a year, give or take, somewhere in that ballpark. But maybe I'm wrong on that.
He strikes me as Giannis. I didn't say it.
Me?
But the agent's
what?
Like, hey, John.
Dude, you just won a Super Bowl. We won more than $30 million a year.
Won it?
Pay me my money. How desperate are you? Are you this desperate? And also, it's a terrible idea, but now that we know the details of it, do we still dislike it as much as we did originally? We'll get to those coming up next, but first, here's Swag with SportsCenter.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Trailblazers get a few days to recuperate following All-Star Weekend that saw Damian Lillard win his record-tying third three-point contest. Their season resumes this Friday when the Denver Nuggets come to Moda Center. The NFL preparing for the Combine in Indianapolis next week. Teams starting to make roster moves to free up cap space. The Dolphins releasing wide receiver Tyreek Hill on Monday. They plan to do so with 3 other players, including pass rusher Brandon Chubb. The moves, they believe, will create an extra $40 million of cap space. College hoops tonight right here on the Fan. The Orange Ducks men finally ending their 10-game losing streak over the weekend. They will host the Minnesota Golden Gophers tonight at 7:30 from Matt Knight Arena. Our pregame coverage will start at 7 p.m. We'll be on 105.1 The Fan immediately following primetime. Oregon, a 4.5-point favorite. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for the
All right, welcome back in. 8:37 on your Tuesday morning. Good morning, everybody. Mail sack coming up top of the hour.
Got a mail sack.
So make sure you get those questions in. It's a nice little sack today.
Mail sack. Mail sack. By the way, you want to talk about tanking? The Miami Dolphins are going to be...
I got that still in my notes. Yeah, that was going to be a part of the NFL segment.
So bad.
How upset are we when Tyreek Hill signs with insert our team here? We just...
You know what team needs a receiver?
There is one that I can think of.
The Niners.
Yeah.
But they just actually signed a receiver who is problematic. So I'd imagine, and he got injured.
I mean, of all those
they're not
contracts
gonna do it.
that we were reading through in the last segment,
Tyreek Hill's.
Tyreek Hill's is bad. Nothing is worse than
Ayuk's.
Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, it's not
He
close.
literally doesn't even play.
He posted a video going 100 miles an hour right next to the stadium, which I've been there. That's terrifying. He was going that fast right there.
Right receivers driving too fast. Is that what you're telling me? NFL players being irresponsible behind the wheel of a car. Is that what you're telling me? I mean, Tyreek Hill's an absolute scumbag, but somebody's going to sign him this offseason.
Oh, I wouldn't be shocked if the Chiefs dabble back in. They
Not
brought
at all.
Kareem Hunt back.
Not at all.
They will go back to the waters if it's going to bring them any level of success.
What could they use? Some
Yeah.
more weapons on offense would help a little bit,
Yeah.
right? A couple of things in my college football notes as we're emptying out the weekend bag here because we had a 3-day weekend. Coming up, by the way, where does this rank all time? I want to ask that question. This is one of the most desperate moves that I'm okay with because I'm assuming that they can afford it. But I was absolutely flabbergasted. So last week we had the story of North Dakota State joining the Mountain West Conference. That was a big move. FCS, they won 10 out of 15 national championships at that level, and they've joined the Mountain West Conference. It's like, all right, that's cool. Next step up. Maybe there's this year's James Madison.
Sure.
Now we got another one, and this one is where there's a program on the West Coast who's been trying to cut through, spending a lot of money in NIL, and now is so desperate for that opportunity. Here's what they're going to do for it. Sacramento State is joining the MAC.
Dude, they've been trying so hard, and I don't understand why they haven't been, welcomed. Is it because they don't have the North Dakota State background?
Probably they don't have the background.
But they're in Sacramento. They have facilities.
I think
they've
the
got
tough
money.
part for them, and this goes into the conference they're joining, what are the options for them geographically that make sense, right? The Pac-12 didn't need Sacramento. You're not going to say yes, probably
They
Sacramento
did need
State.
them for a hot minute, though. They were
sure.
lacking the one team, and it's a state school. It's
No
all
doubt.
the requirements at this point.
And then the Mountain West needed a program in their general vicinity, and North Dakota State's won 10 out of 15 national titles, so it makes sense.
Sure.
The MAC, for those wondering, these are the teams in the MAC: Western Michigan, Ohio, Toledo, Miami, Ohio. Are you sensing a theme here?
Geographically makes sense.
Central Michigan, Akron, Buffalo. Okay, that's an outlier. Kent State, Eastern Michigan, Ball State, Bowling Green, Northern Illinois, and Massachusetts.
Yep.
So it's all Midwest and 2 randomly in the Northeast. That's the teams. That's the conference that Sacramento State is joining.
I'm sure they'll make a lot of money on travel.
Here's what they're going to do. They have signed a 5-year agreement with the conference. They are not going to take a single penny for 5 years of conference distribution money-wise.
How much does the MAC make?
Not a
per
lot.
School?
They're saying waive all of it. We don't need it. We're okay.
Okay.
They are going to cover the air travel costs of all visiting MAC teams who play at Sacramento State.
I'm sure that's cheap.
And literally, because I believe my reading on this is that it's all sports. It's not just football.
Yeah.
So they're any time a team comes out to play Sacramento State, because again, look at the conference and the teams that are in there. For Kent State to fly out there, it ain't cheap, and these teams don't have cash coffers that are full. So they're paying for all of that, and they're paying $6 million of their $18 million entry fee right out of the gate. So the MAC said, all right, wait a minute, let me get this straight. 5 years, you want no money. You're paying for all of our teams to travel to go visit you, and you're giving us $6 of the $18 million up front? Sure, where do we sign? Welcome to the MAC, Sacramento State. And I get it from their standpoint, but also, oh my God, that is the most desperate deal that's ever been made.
So I'm looking up at their just their famous alums.
Okay.
Because the money's clearly there.
They have a lot of money to spend.
They're doing the stadium stuff, the
Yep.
facilities. They've been trying to get into this conversation for a while.
They've signed a lot of these recruits who were like Rashada,
Jay
went there, the guys who kind of flame out at a Power Four and
Which
hey,
is smart.
We'll throw it back at you. You're a no name.
At one point, you were a really good football player. Maybe you tap into that, and you can beat MAC level schools and be good, and then you figure it out from there. But to be able to fund all that is an insane amount of money. Now, the payoff here isn't about the 5-year plan. The payoff is to dominate the MAC in the first couple years.
And hopefully.
And then get an invite in an olive branch of, oh, my God, they're funded. They're dominating. And maybe they're closer for the Pac-12 to say, hey, you make sense now.
Yeah.
That's what this is about.
Or a bigger conference to
Whatever
come calling,
it is. Yeah,
whatever
sure.
it might be.
But
yeah.
I can't imagine the payout for the MAC is over $2 million a school. So you're bypassing.
Yeah, what is the MAC payout? Let me look at that.
I mean, what channel are they on? I guess they get the ESPN MACtion Tuesdays.
They play on Tuesday. I mean, they
You're
got
right.
weeknight games.
You
but
know what? Maybe the ESPN deal pays them.
I don't think the Tuesday package on ESPN is very big.
It should be. People actually tune into those games. People live for the MAC games. You said Ohio's in it, right?
Ohio's in it. Yeah.
We're going to get Sacramento State?
I will. Oh, wow. That's more
Is
than
it like
I thought.
4.5?
It's more than I thought.
How much is it?
This, according to Google AI, which we know is never wrong, they signed a 13-year deal. Which runs through 2027, so they have one more year left.
Okay.
So they don't know what the next TV deal will look like, and it's $8 million a year.
I hope to God the Pac-12 gets $8 million a year. Are you
That's a
kidding
lot
me?
better than I
That's
thought it
good.
was going to be. Now, I don't know what it'll be next time around because their deal's up after one more season.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to get $8 million.
I don't know if they'll get $8 million, but I think maybe that is a valid point that you brought up. The Tuesday night inventory. We're willing to play whatever day of the week you want us to play. You tell us when. Tuesdays? There you go.
Your tease was, will this pay off? And my answer is, it doesn't matter, dude. Okay, tell me the negative side. We know what the upper side is, right? It's winning the MAC, getting notoriety,
the negative
and maybe
is
getting an invite to a slightly bigger conference than you're currently in
5 years,
and
or
you'll
so.
make more per year or whatever you end up making, depending on the deal. Now, tell me the downside. They get relegated?
I mean, you're not going to get relegated. The only downside is, and I don't know enough to say whether it will be or not, is you go bankrupt because that's a lot of money you're spending.
You won't go bankrupt, though. You just get out of being relevant in any way, and you'll be what you currently are. I think you just come back to the level you are. I think that's the downside here. So, yes, I think this is worth the payoff.
Yeah, they've joined in the MAC, man. It's why we've seen teams of like, hey, we'll waive the payout. Just let us in, please, or we'll take my team's on a half of a Big Ten share for another however many years because they needed a life raft.
Who is Sacramento State's football coach?
They just signed a new one. I think this last year. I want to say it's Alonzo. I looked it up over the weekend. Is it Alonzo Carter? Is that the name?
Alonzo Carter.
Alonzo Carter.
He's their 14th head coach. Sacramento State famously beat us in Corvallis.
They did.
People
don't forget.
People don't forget. I will never forget watching that game. I can't believe that happened. That was
happened.
insane.
Just it's an interesting move to see two of these in the span of weeks where teams are jumping. And this one, North Dakota State got a much better deal than Sacramento State did because they were, I would argue, more in demand. And geographically, it made more sense.
I guess,
They've earned
years,
it.
Yeah.
Well, and also teams don't. I mean, you're not asking the Ohio Bobcats to fly out on a Tuesday for a volleyball game in Sacramento.
Yeah.
That's a little bit different, right? It just makes more sense.
Well,
and
but
so
with Sacramento State,
it.
too, they may view this and say, why can't we be San Jose State?
Yeah.
It may not happen in the first year.
Go to some bowl games,
4.
be successful.
Well, but San Jose State, I'm just using them as an example, but like for, that 1 year with Brent Brennan, for example, how close they were in this now new day and age of being in consideration for a playoff spot.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine in 10 years, they're one of the teams that it comes down to the end of the season. If they win this game, they're probably going to be highest ranked. And what are we saying then? It's like, remember a decade ago we debated if this was worth it? Like, in their mind, that's where it goes.
James Madison was in the college football playoff last year.
Yeah.
They played my team.
They lost the best coach in college football and still got back to the playoff
2 years later.
Without that guy.
Lost all of the roster, lost everybody. And 2 years later, they were back in the playoff.
If you make the right hires and you can fund this with the support of your alumni, I just think it's worth it. And if it doesn't work, you go, oh, we're Sacramento State again. Okay.
Nothing has changed.
Great.
That's a good point. I didn't get to my format question there, so we'll save that. Maybe we'll have some time for that in the final hour. We'll see. I'll kick it down a little bit. Coming up next, I do want to ask a question. Did you know that this happened? And is it a big deal for you? Because it caused some waves this weekend, and I want to bring it up. We'll get to that coming up next on The Fan.
Big hits, big bets, big plays.
Today I'm laying the big wood.
This is the Layin' Wood Report, brought to you by Mr. Plywood, serving Portland for over 50 years.
Here's Carl Salemi out in front. Score! 5-0 Team USA. They have now scored 4 here in the second period.
Kenny Albert, NBC Sports on the call. Yes, that 5th goal to beat Sweden in the Olympic semis. Talk about a story, maybe the story of the Olympics for the Americans. The U.S. women's hockey team, incredibly dominant, outscoring their opponents 31-1 and winning each of their last 5 games via shutout, breaking a tie for the longest streak in women's Olympic history.
Yeah, 2 of the easiest sports to predict in the Winter Olympics are men and women's hockey. Women's hockey, it was always going to be a USA versus Canada final. USA beat them the first time around. They've been dominant 31-1, and now they got a chance at gold on Thursday.
Land Wood Report brought to you by Mr. Plywood, serving Portland for over 50 years. Delivery, custom cutting, and special orders. You can visit them at Southeast Stark Street or online at mrplywoodinc.com.
People in Tanner with a point of clarification. Sacramento State football only. I just saw McMurphy say the deal is official, by the way.
I was going to say paying
football.
for volleyball
I wasn't sure,
and all the men's and women's sports.
But
That's
still,
a lot
every
of
time,
money,
so for 6 games of the year, you got to pay for all the flight and accommodations for teams
it's still
to come
expensive.
Out. Still expensive, but not as quite as it seemed. I love throwing little trial balloons up into the air and see if old Brandon Sprague, see if it shows up on your radar, in your atmosphere anywhere.
Sure.
Did this exist for you this weekend? Because something happened in sports that was a pretty remarkable comeback story.
Oh, the Anthony Kim?
I don't think anybody was watching it because it was on
Didn't
in
watch
Australia, and it
second of
was on. I mean, I think it ended around 1 a.m. our time, Saturday night or Sunday night.
I watched
whatever night.
Morikawa. I didn't watch Anthony
Sure.
Kim.
I mean, it's on in the middle of the night, so I don't blame you at all. But was it on your radar this weekend that transpired? Because Anthony Kim, for those who don't know Anthony Kim, it's a live golf. It's easily the best moment in the history of live golf. It's not even debatable. I can't tell you any other tournament winners or what else has happened.
It's bigger than getting Phil Mickelson and
Well,
Bryson
sure, I'm not
DeChambeau
on
to
the
join
course.
it.
On the course, not the announcement of guys joining. Those were shocking newses.
But the actual golf itself.
Newses is not a word. I apologize. But yes, on the actual golf course itself. I mean, Anthony Kim was our prodigy. He was the next Tiger Woods in
The
American
08 Ryder
golf.
Cup.
08 Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
He was the next up and coming guy. He was everything, and then he literally fell off the face of the earth and nearly committed suicide. His face looks nothing like it did prior because of the years and years of drug abuse and rehab. And there are golf media members who tell stories about how they used to text him occasionally just to stay in contact with him when he stopped playing golf after multiple injuries. And then he just stopped, like he went ghost. Nobody heard from him for years.
Wow.
And then out of the ashes, he comes up, and Anthony Kim is now back playing golf. He signs with Live Golf, which for 2 years was kind of used as a punching bag moment because that shows how bad the tour is, that they're just signing a has-been from 15, 20 years ago, and he's playing with you. He won this weekend, and I don't know. I didn't watch it because I didn't know it was on. And again, I was asleep, I think, when it was happening, but I woke up to the news because he was down by 5 or 6 shots to Bryson, came all the way back and won their event. And it is remarkable to think about where he was in 2008 to disappearing off the face of the planet to now being back in the known lexicon of the sports world.
You know, I saw it, but...
Is this a Golf Insider? Am I in a bubble here?
I don't think you're in a bubble, but nobody watched it.
No, nobody watched it.
And the weird part about this is we kind of did this segment 2 or 3 years ago.
When he
did the
came
whole
back.
Anthony Kim is back, and this is the story. And if you don't know, this is why he was gone, and now he's back. And look at his nose is kind of, the result of rampant drug use, all that stuff. And it wasn't that it wasn't a good story, but it wasn't I guess the tough thing here is it wasn't a consistent story.
Well, he was so bad his first 2 years that they literally relegate. They have a relegation system in Live Golf. He had to
play his way back into
into the tour.
And I just read the little blurb about like what he did to win because I don't follow Live Golf, and he held off DeChambeau and Rahm.
Yes, those are the guys he beat. He was down by like
remarkable.
6 going into the last round.
So it's a great story. I think the problem is he's not consistently here, and so it's like, hey, remember Anthony Kim? He's back, and then it's 3 years later he's faded out and he's not in. And it's not that it's tough. It's tough. Golf is hard. But I saw the story and I was like, oh, that's cool. But I cared far more about watching the Pebble Beach tournament. And
I don't blame you there. The timing of it killed it,
was
too.
amazing to start that tournament. He had no bogeys going into the third round. And
even though he's so candy-ass soft for his hand warmer. What are we doing here, dude? What, are you playing a game at Lambeau Field?
I'm not going to act like I didn't wear gloves playing around this weekend.
You're in California.
I played 9 holes, not 18, which was the right move because it was a little sloppy, but I had gloves.
What kind of gloves are we talking?
They're Nike golf gloves. They're for outdoors.
Oh, that's different. That's different than a hand warmer.
It's the same thing.
No,
he takes it out to hit.
No, it's not.
What do you mean?
He's putting a hand warmer on his waist every shot. Maybe if you worried a little less about your hand warmer, you'd make a couple of birdies on the back nine on Sunday and win a tournament for once in your life.
You know the thing about golf?
Artist,
if you reverse
and
his
you
rounds,
anchor
he
putting,
wins the
cheating
tournament.
Bastard.
If you reverse his rounds, he wins the tournament.
Yeah, because he's a choke artist. This is what he does. He's the new can't win.
Like 26.
He's the new can't win. Stop anchoring your putter, you cheater. Anyways, Anthony Kim won this weekend. Big deal. But I did see.
Become you trashing another golfer.
I can't. The hand warmer thing pissed me off this weekend.
Really?
Every time they showed him, it drove me nuts.
Looked miserable in those conditions. It's raining. The wind's
Suck
going.
it up, you candy ass. Wow. You know what you need? You want to put golf in a dome too?
Are you anti?
We're outside. It's raining. Oh no!
Do you have a stance on quarterbacks?
No, because if it's freezing cold, like you're playing in Lambeau Field and it's 4 degrees out, it's a little bit different. It was like what was the high temperature at Pebble Beach this weekend?
I think it got like the
Mid
low 50s.
Low 50s
with
25
mile an hour winds.
God, you're soft too. You weren't a hand warmer on the golf course on me, Swigard?
I would.
I
actually
find
thought
a way
about
to
can
keep
I
my
buy
hands
one?
warm.
You know
I
what?
don't
You know what you got for those?
What?
What's in your pants?
Not pockets lined with warm material.
You literally can grab a hand warmer, shake it up, and put it in your pockets.
I think the hand warmer's softer than the quarterback pouch.
It's the same thing.
It's softer.
And you don't have to put it on your waist every shot.
You're cracking open something to keep your hands warm. Just put them in a pocket.
You know what he had in his hand warmer? Hand warmers.
Well,
because they put hand warmers in their hand warmer.
you want to take? On my
God, I didn't have you as Charmin Soft. I knew you were Charmin Soft. I didn't have you on that. I didn't have that on my.
You don't golf in those conditions.
The most important thing, I got to have feeling in my hands on that club. That's
Thank
the most
you.
important thing. So
Thank
whatever
you.
I got to do at that point.
Mid-50, he's playing in 14-degree weather.
I know
Oh,
we're against
stop
it.
it.
Neither one of you golf in those conditions.
I love golfing in the rain.
When did you golf in like upper 40s rain?
Before I had a kid, I'd play all year round.
You have okay. When you haven't played since you had a kid? It's
No,
2 years.
It's a little bit different.
When was the last
I don't
time?
play in the
Different
summer.
now.
I don't play in the summer either. You know why it's
You know what I
different.
have?
Don't flip this on me just because you're Charmin Soft.
I have push cart gloves that connect
You
only
get
to my push
pedicures before
cart,
you go
and
play
I
golf
put 'em
too?
in.
You got the big guy in
Yes,
snow
the
mittens.
big polar bear mittens.
curling mittens.
Dude,
See what's
they're
wrong with our
great.
society? We're soft.
Well, I
That's what's
carry
wrong.
my bag now, but when I have the push
All
cart
right,
out,
that evens out at least. That evens out.
yeah, I'm a carrier.
That's less soft.
Yeah.
Swigard's over here. He's probably got one of those remote carts. Doesn't even want to push it
Oh,
anymore.
No. I
Hires a
push it.
caddy from Lake
I push
Oswego.
it.
I'm seeing those more and more.
Brings his nephew out.
And
I'll
I-
give you $200 to carry my bag.
I do have a little bit of judgment on the automatic push cart thing. It's so bizarre to me.
Look, I'm absolutely throwing rocks in a glass house because I'm like 5 years away from buying one of those things. But for now, Akshay, you little bitch, take your hand warmer off, all right? Anthony Kim winning was cool, but I think it being in Australia did hamper it a little bit because it happened in the middle of the night. Remarkable comeback story, and I don't watch anything or care anything about live golf, but still cool. Magic Hat kicks, or not Magic Hat, Millsack kicks off the final hour, and we'll do it next on The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Brought to you by Langdon Farms Golf Club. Good or bad weather, the golf course is always the driest around. Download the Langdon Farms app today. Get all the latest news and specials. Trailblazers moving on to the second half of the season after All-Star Weekend saw Damian Lillard collect a record-tying third three-point contest victory. Couple more days to recoup before the Denver Nuggets come to Moda Center on Friday. College hoops tonight right here on The Fan. The Oregon Ducks men ended their 10-game losing streak over the weekend. They'll try to double up against the Minnesota Golden Gophers tonight, 7:30 tip from Matt Knight Arena. Our pregame coverage starts at 7 here on 105.1 The Fan, immediately following primetime. Oregon, 4.5-point favorites. Over on 910 ESPN, Portland, top-ranked Michigan visits number 7 Purdue. Tip at 3:30. Our pregame coverage starts at 3:15. Wolverines, 3.5-point favorites. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Recruiting with Andrew.
Hey, let's do this final hour. Dirt and Sprague, your Portland sports leader, 105.1 FM, The Fan, 1080 AM. The Odyssey app, live on YouTube. Good morning, everybody. Hope your days are going great. Somebody chiming in there goes Dirt, yelling about stuff again, ranting about hand warmers. What did he say? Assigning man shame. Just trying to liven up non-football season,
you're
dude.
Crazy.
Somebody's got to be entertained.
Two things I hate. One, cold, numb hands. Two, anytime my nose starts running because it's too cold. I hate those
it's not
things.
good. What is the cutoff for you? It's like the when water freezes. What is the cutoff for you outside that your hands feel uncomfortably numb? What is the temp for you? Because everybody's different. Everybody's
Anything
body
below
runs
55, maybe 57.
See, really? 57
Dude,
degrees? I was
yeah.
out in shorts and a T-shirt in 57 degrees the other day.
I played, coincidentally, when it was really nice, I put on shorts and a shirt after our show to play golf.
Yeah.
Instantly regretted it. I had nothing.
That Friday that we
but
went
a
and
terrible
played when it
sweatshirt.
was super nice day.
It was freezing for the first 2 hours of my round.
I was in a shirt for the last 6 holes and shorts.
Older and colder, dude. Older, colder.
Is it an age thing? I think it's an
Older and
insulation
colder.
thing. I built up years of insulation in this system, all right? All right, here we go. Ready
By
for the
way,
mail sack?
I forgot Robert Duvall was in Days of Thunder.
Dude,
He's the crew
yeah.
chief.
He is,
Secondhand Lions, underrated film. Him and Michael Caine.
You could do an hour of
He
radio
was in that
listing.
Travolta lawyer flick, A Civil Action.
Yes.
Oh, man.
There's a handful of them that I see that people talk about when somebody passes, and I'm like, I've never seen that movie, and everybody raves about it. And he's got a few of those for me that I'm like, it just everybody keeps messaging, sending out the same movie. Oh, this is his best performance or one of his best.
I
And
don't
I've
think
never
you
seen
can
it.
pick one.
No.
On a hot take, you can't pick one. You can have a favorite movie.
Oh, don't worry. There's a mail sack question on this.
But you can't pick one. I was rewatching Barbie with my daughters and my niece this weekend, and I forgot a part in that movie is they're distracting the men to take Barbie Land back, and it's asked the question about the Godfather. I don't understand it. What do you mean?
What do you mean
It's
you don't
like
understand
every
it?
Ken doll gets distracted because they start
Hey!
talking about Godfather.
Hey.
I'm like, yeah, it's
You know,
accurate.
LeBron watches all 3 Godfathers before every NBA game he plays.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
Did you know that?
Reads every book.
Let's start here. Mail sack question in honor of the late, great Robert Duvall. Can you rank his top 5 movies? Godfather 1 and 2 have to be top of the list for me. You guys can do whatever you want.
I'm going to do this.
That's for me.
I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to pull up the
Now,
Rolodex.
I might go controversial because I think you could make an argument. I love the smell of napalm in the morning as his most memorable line in any movie.
Okay.
But also, if my memory serves me now, I've not seen Apocalypse Now in a long time. His role in that movie is relatively small, if I remember correctly.
You need like a more full through the movie role.
That's what I'm saying. So I think the line is very famous. I don't know if Apocalypse Now cracks my top 5. The Judge, he was just
Yeah, he was nominated.
nominated for. That came out in 2014. The Apostle is one of the movies that I've never seen that people rave about. I think that's one of his highest ranked or rated. So is Tender Mercies. I've never seen either of those.
I haven't seen Tender Mercies.
But those are some of the movies that he's most known for.
I mean, Jack, Nick Cage doesn't steal those cars without Robert Duvall's help. Come on, what are we doing?
No, he does not. So here we go. I'm going to go top 5. I'll go quickly. I'm going to go Godfather 1, Godfather 2, famously not in 3. I'm going to give
3 didn't happen.
I'm going to give you The Natural, number 3. I think his role in The Natural is totally forgotten, and Robert Redford steals a little bit of the spotlight, but he's kind of the handler guy. Give me Open Range 4. I think that's a Western that's aged really well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going movies that I've seen. I'm going to go Days of Thunder 5. There you go. There's my Duvall top 5.
The Godfathers have to be in it.
Yes.
In Apocalypse Now, I get that that's controversial. But again, and people can correct me. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. I remember it being a very small role. We all remember it because the line is so famous, but I don't think he was in it the entire time.
I am going to go Secondhand Lions. I do enjoy that. Him and Michael Caine are great as uncles.
Yeah.
The Judge was really good.
Yeah?
That was a justified earning of an Academy Award nomination.
Are we really going to leave off Kicking and Screaming in 4 Christmases? Because he was delightful in both those
Christmases
movies.
Enough.
His role in 4 Christmases, though, is
tremendous.
I don't want a satellite! He's trying to put it up on his house.
I'm going to go... For me, I'm going to go Days of Thunder.
Okay. Swigard, top 5?
Days of Thunder is. I'm not going to rank him, but yeah, The Godfathers. He was major.
Now, do you like Western movies? I thought you
no,
were
I hate Westerns.
So Days of Thunder, or Sorry, I'm getting my
True
Western.
Grits
Yeah,
out.
True Grits. Yeah.
He was in MASH. He was Major Frank Burns in the movie.
The movie MASH.
Did you see The Apostle?
I did not see The Apostle, but he wrote and directed it.
Yes,
like, that was his project.
He was in The Network too.
So he was great in The Judge. I really liked him in A Civil Action.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he played that particular under-the-radar lawyer, perfectly. I know more than you. I know how to not get caught up in this mess and get out of it. Days of Thunder has to be in there. And he played Otto in Gone in 60 Seconds. Gone in 60 Seconds is one of my guilty pleasure
is it
movies.
really?
Like, if that thing
Look
comes
at
on.
you, Swigard.
Hell yeah, it's such a good rewatch.
Wow.
Any point in that movie, you're sitting and watching
It's such a good. I mean, the acting, it's kind of like Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
There's nothing cinematically, some great.
Wow.
But
Angelina
damn, all
Jolie
those
and
actors,
blonde
they got
braids
really
and
good
dreads
lines.
Beg to differ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you give them enough good lines and all of those actors in there. And it's
I think
just
that's the
a
thing
fun
about
watch.
him, aside from just like a stellar resume that will never be beat. It's like any role he did have, whether that's starring role or supporting role, you just the presence in which he delivered lines is like, this guy's important in the movie.
Yeah.
Even though when you rewatch Gone in 60 Seconds, Otto's obviously a big part of Nick Cage's character, but like, is it? Or does he just deliver it with such authority that you're like, damn, dude.
I also
Robert
liked him
Duvall.
in The Paper. Did you ever see the movie The Paper with Michael Keaton?
I don't know if I saw The Paper.
No,
that's
but
a tough part I've had with
shout
this.
out on working with him, how they became actually like legitimate friends with that movie.
That's a tough, because we're getting a lot of these that are texting in. Like Colors is coming. I've never seen Colors, but a bunch of people keep texting that in. The Great Santini I've never seen. So there's some of the older timey stuff.
I mean,
that
dude,
I've
I'm looking
not
at the
watched.
movies, and there's like
there's a million
100
of them.
movies.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of movies people.
He
aren't
was the
gonna
cop in
see.
Falling Down with Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
Where he loses it.
Yeah. And somebody texted in the miniseries that he did, Lonesome Dove. That I have seen. That was Tommy Lee Jones, I think, and him. That's a really good miniseries. So the point being, you can't really have a wrong answer here. One of the most remarkable careers and incredible
His first
to
movie
think.
was Boo Radley in To Kill a Mockingbird. She said 1962.
1962.
His first,
Some about his look
credit.
too. Like he had just an ability where if he was the tough guy role, he wasn't physically dominating, but the way he could just scowl and deliver a line was like, oh yeah, you don't mess with that guy.
Yeah, he's a great American actor too, because he embodied a lot of the American stuff. Like he had a famous line where he talked about British actors playing Hamlet and other Shakespearean plays, and he basically is like, we're Americans. I'm going to do True Grit. Like that's my character. Like that's what we are. That's our DNA and our history and all that. So that was a mail sack question that led directly into it. Let's get a couple more quick ones in here, and then we'll go. Mail sack question: I recently purchased a virtual reality headset for the first time. Started playing a Golf Plus game, which is about as close you can get to playing golf without leaving your house. My question is, if you could virtually play golf on any course in Oregon from your home, which one would you pick? I have a lot of follow-up
I
questions.
haven't played
Do you swing your own clubs? I got a lot of follow-ups
OG
here.
Bandon, so I'd pick that for the experience of not being able to have played it. I want to play the one you used to go on every year, Running Y.
Running Y is a great one.
Because you've talked that up, and I've talked to other people who've also played it and swear by it. And then, I'd probably play a couple of the Bandon courses I have played. Like Bandon Trails I loved.
Yeah.
And I want to replay
I mean, you
it.
can't go wrong with Bandon. I have so many follow-up questions on this.
What?
Like, if you're playing golf.
Does it feel real?
Does it feel real? Are you swinging your own club? Does it, do you hit anything? Is there, a fake ball that you hit?
I've only done the VR thing.
Because I'm down to try something like this to get my itch in, because I'm obviously not golfing as much anymore in my current life.
Does it take as long as real golf?
Right. I imagine if you're not walking, if
and-
you're just hanging out in your living room swinging a club, do you have enough room? What kind
Are you
of
swinging a club? Or is it
full
like a little
club?
hand
Yeah,
control?
do you
is it Wii golf?
Yeah, do you need some sort of simulator bay? Where
Dude, those are taking over, man. My home court.
Simulator bays?
Eastmoreland now put the TrackMans on all the.
Everybody has TrackMans.
It's unbelievable.
Everybody.
People are going in locking it up
Yeah.
for hours playing Pebble
Yeah.
Beach.
I know.
What's happening? I'm trying to work on my 8-iron.
Well, I've also noticed more people are buying home simulators.
Yes.
The cost is starting to come down to, it's still expensive, but it's not.
But you can get a good one for what? 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's come
I mean, it's
down
still
from
costing
the
you, but it's
10
not.
to 15,000 range
Right.
down to.
As long as you got the space and you can put something in.
Yeah, if you have space, yeah.
I think I would choose, Bandon. You know what? I'll go Running Y. Running Y is my favorite course down in Klamath. It's a long
Have
drive.
you played all the Bandon courses?
I have played all of the Bandon courses, yes.
Yeah, the only one I haven't been able to play is OG.
Yeah.
The only one I haven't played is Old McDonald. I still haven't played Old McDonald.
Oh, that's fun, man. I'll
She's
eat your
fun,
life.
but that's fun.
Let's get more and more in
Or
here.
she's tough, but that's fun. Not she's fun, that's fun.
What?
I don't know.
Tough? Who?
Old Mac.
Mail sack question. Who at the Fan would make the best two-man team for curling?
What?
I'm going to go Swigard being on the team because he's the only one who seems to know anything actual about the sport.
Who looks the most like the curlers? I'm going Luke and Swag.
Yeah, I think that's a good two-man team.
Yeah.
I think
With
that'd be my
Patrick
voice.
a close third. You got to look like a curler for me to want to pick you curling.
Look, it doesn't take a lot of physical activity to do it, but you got to be an aggressive sweeper.
Well, Dirt's not doing it because he's not wearing the mittens. So
No, I'm not wearing the mittens. I'm not soft.
Well, some would say he's out there actually without anything. He's wearing
Yeah.
shorts.
I'm wearing shorts out there.
Yeah.
It's not that cold. You'll be fine.
Candy ass, what are you wearing, ice shoes?
And they got heating. They're indoors. It's not outdoor
I got
curling.
Nikes on.
You're in a dome. How cold do you think the temp is in the dome?
I'm
You
sorry.
got to wear gloves to a hockey game?
it's got to be
When you go watch a hockey game, do you wear a
cold
hand
enough.
warmer in the arena?
so the ice doesn't melt.
Candy asses.
I hate to be you're really wrong on the whole golf thing.
Nah, this is right.
You're clearly in the wrong there. You don't play in the conditions anymore because you know I'm right.
God, I wish I could play golf, man. Dreams are gone.
Looks pretty nice right now. Why don't you go out there? It was muddy.
The's actually something really.
Is it above 40 yet this morning?
I don't know.
It was pretty cold
good
when
for
I
the
left
mountain,
the
though.
house.
Shout out the mountain, dude.
Yes.
We need the snow.
I read an alarming report about the snow that we.
Oh, no,
not
Pax was
gotten.
telling me it's still way below. They just got above a 3-foot base at Bachelor.
Hold
like
on,
last week.
100% right. We are going to.
Oh,
pay
we're
for
screwed
that
this summer.
in a
Absolutely screwed this summer.
big way.
Unless it changes in the next month. We'll see. All right, more mail sack to come on the other side on the Fan.
1080 AM.
All right, only about 41 minutes left in our show. After us, the firm of Harrison Meringue. Patrick Harrison here getting ready to go. By the way,
We have a Dubois.
we have a Dubois tonight.
A Dubois
Are
tonight.
you ready for a Dubois?
I am.
Timbers fan.
Timber fan.
With the Timber fan.
Yes.
On the fan of the Timbers fandom. What? That didn't make sense. We're the home of the Timbers. I don't know if you know that.
We
Big
are.
news. And we have a new show that is debuting tonight at Dubois. Right after primetime with Isaac and Suka will be the one and only Patrick Harris.
With Jake Zivin.
With Jake Zivin.
Yeah.
Now that tonight is only on 1080.
Okay.
Right.
Because Ducks basketball is
Right.
on 105.1. We will split the signal
Okay.
at 7 p.m.
I would say if you're 10 in your last, if you're 1 and 10 in your last 11,
Hey,
you should
hey,
be on
hey.
1080 AM.
What
and
if they-
Timber fan should be on the
You know
FM.
what they call it tonight if they win?
What?
A winning streak.
Winning streak.
I think Duck basketball fan is like just end the season.
I didn't even know that. I mean, I haven't.
They beat Penn State, who's
Is that who they beat?
tied for worst in the conference with you.
Yeah. Kept them out of the cellar.
Suck
Yeah,
it, Nittany
well, you're in
Lions.
the cellar.
I bet their AD was really pissed about that. Has he ever been to Eugene, Oregon?
Swag, when you have 18 teams in a conference and you're the bottom 3, I think you're in the cellar.
I think if you're in the bottom 5 of an
Yeah, I think you're
18-team
in the
conference,
cellar.
you're in this. That's a
You're
pretty
in the
big
cellar.
seller.
So
a
the
lot of
bottom
teams.
4 seeds will play. All 18
Who
are
cares?
going to the.
They're
Nobody
not going
cares.
to win.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
But I'm excited for Timber fan.
I'm
But
yes,
it'll be
Timbers
right here.
fan.
It'll be right here on the fan.
Right
Why did
here
we name
on
it-
the fan.
Why did we name it Timbers fan?
Because we're the home of the Timbers, and we have a Timbers fan that's hosting the show.
Why just lean into the old Comcast? Everything talk. Timbers talk. Basketball talk.
I was not
Talking footy.
involved in
Ducking
that particular
ducks talking.
workshop brainstorm session.
I think those talking shows are still around.
Listeners asking, will they be on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's live, right? At 7?
Yeah.
You didn't pre-record that.
I don't know.
No way.
I don't know the answer to this.
We do live radio, though.
Maybe they are. Maybe they're not. I don't know.
What would we rename
Don't
the
ask
show?
me. You're asking me questions I know the answer to. What would
Short
we
and
name it?
sweet and timber neat? Because of Patrick?
I mean, that's never. I mean,
It's better than Timbers fan.
it's funny. It's a lot of imaging, though. You got to pay the guy extra money. Now he's got to do extra words, time.
Jake with Stump?
Well,
What's his nickname?
lot of
P.
hi-
Harris needs a
a
nickname.
lot of hightism going on this show.
What?
A lot of discrimination against
There's
the shorts.
no discrimination.
I think you just called him Stump.
I support Patrick, and
Stump.
he knows that more than anybody in this. Yeah, Stumps.
Very offensive.
I'm going to call him Stumps.
Very offensive. I'm very offended on behalf
Meringue
of
and
my,
Stumps.
my fellow short friend. I'm very offended
He's
right
a
now.
Timber King. What do you want from him?
I'll call that the show. Why didn't you
Okay.
bring that up first?
You call him the
Why
Big
you got to bring
Redwood?
up his height first, huh?
Okay.
What does it have to do with the soccer segment?
What do you call him? The Big Red?
The Big Tall Timbers fan show coming up tonight, 7
Timbers
to 8
fan.
p.m.
Timbers
right
fan.
here. Not on 105.1 FM, but 10:80 a.m. Just tonight.
Just
or
tonight.
Cases we need to split.
And what are they talking?
Timbers, baby.
Exactly.
Season's right around the corner.
Season starts
Their
this
jersey
Saturday.
got released.
The
Their new
kit.
one.
Yeah.
The kit.
The kit.
And I saw a website that ranked the new MLS kit releases, like their alternate jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
And I like our new Goose Hollow celebration that they're doing.
I do too.
The website called it Old Hotel Wall.
Oh. Now I'm curious. I'm going to go look those up because I haven't seen the release
Well,
yet.
we only saw the scarves on our announcement
Yes.
day. We didn't see the kits.
That's true.
The kits got released.
As far as Portland City or like Portland area jerseys go, you can be as bad as you possibly want, and nothing will be worse than the PDX carpet jerseys. So, I mean, they could come out with just like poop stains on their jerseys, and I'd be like, you know what? It's better than the carpet jerseys.
What about the brown Oregon uniform for the Blazers?
Those were
For
just
their
as
city
bad.
edition.
I would bring
Northwest
those
Heritage
back
or whatever they called it.
before I wore the carpet jerseys. I would wear the. I would
Really?
wear the
Do you
Oregon.
remember that?
Oh, they're horrible.
It was all brown.
They're horrible.
It was a city edition that said Oregon.
Yeah, you got to have a worst, and the worst is the carpet jersey.
I think
It's
the
carpet
sales would
jersey.
beg to differ with you there.
Oh,
sir.
there's no doubt the sales would be
The
better.
kids love the carpet.
They do.
They love the carpet.
Mail's that question. If for 1 minute you could purchase anything in the world for $1, what would you acquire? Augusta National.
Yeah, if there's no limit.
$1.
Why
All
would
you
it-
need? I'm buying Augusta. Now I run the Masters every year.
The Trailblazers.
I got an everyday tournament.
Well, I guess I'd have to fund it, right, after I buy it?
You would then have to fund. You'd have to payroll.
Well, how
and
would you fund Augusta? You'd be screwed.
I'd bring
You couldn't
it.
pay for an hour of Augusta.
we just write it off?
That's not how write-offs work.
That's how it works.
So
Well,
something
you
that's got to
buying,
be...
I mean,
Now I own the Masters tournament.
jack up the membership fees.
Yeah. You want to play here? It's going to cost you 10% increase now.
So you wouldn't even worry about the cost after. You just buy it?
I didn't think about that angle of it, I didn't quite go that far in my head.
Well,
that
I
was
wanna
just
say
the
the
first thing that
Blazers.
popped into my head.
I wanna
Blazers?
say the Blazers.
Acceptable answer, Swigard?
I really would want to buy the Blazers.
Okay.
Oregon State University?
Not the Pilots?
Make an athletic department change?
I'm now the president of
Because
Portland.
you can't necessarily.
You're
There's
now
not
the
a lot
real
you can
pilot.
change.
Yeah,
No, I'm actually the Pilots. Mailsack question, how do we not do the easiest and most Portland thing and put a bunch of food carts around the Moda Center?
I was thinking about this
Great question.
The other day because people are talking about the district, and I'm one of those, I have a hard time seeing stuff unless I actually see it. Like, my wife will look at her room and go, I'm thinking about adding this and this and that. And I'm like, what?
All right.
And, I can't see it, right, when she hypothetically says it.
I think they have apps for that now where you can, take a picture of a room and then put things in the room based on how it would look. That makes sense?
You want them to see your living room?
Virtually.
They definitely won't spy on you.
They're not spying on anything.
Okay, so, I'm one of these, I need to see it. I have a hard time, when we talk about building up the district, how is it not just food cart trucks everywhere?
Seems pretty easy.
Well, no, but
Go park down here. Here's your food options.
are we building buildings in that area? It's not like there's a ton of space.
No, there's not a ton of
space. Are we
space.
doing a big brew hall where inside there's 9 different places?
Yeah.
I can't understand it unless it's food carts, and then that makes sense.
The ideal solution would be to take where the employees of the Moda Center and the media members and all that, where everybody parks. For those who don't know, it's down right off of the river, essentially.
It's off Drexler.
And taking that and finding, I don't know where you would put it, some underground parking lot. I don't know how you do it, but turning that into the real estate that you've developed would be the $1 million idea. Because they're essentially across the street from the stadium.
You have to go up the stairs to get to the
You have to go up the stadium. Or up the stairs, yeah. But you're there with a river view. Imagine
I know,
early fall game and late October when it's still nice out, or these spring games when it happens. That to me would be, or a summer concert. You're down there and basically on the waterfront getting ready, and you walk up to the show.
The part of the problem that I have is if we build up the Albina district, the rendering show, then that changes everything, because then you have taken out those cement towers that have done nothing in how long?
Long time, seems like.
And so, if you clear that space out and you build that up, now you've got, legitimate great space available, the way Vancouver did their waterfront.
Their waterfront's blowing ours out of the water, that's for sure. Mailsack question, which behind-the-scenes person does more harm to their respective sport? Richie Sexton for college football or Scott Boras for Major League Baseball? I'm assuming he means Jimmy Sexton. Is that the name of the agent? Yeah. So
shout out Richie Sexton, though. I was out at Prairie High School this week, and his jersey's in the hallway.
There you go. Jimmy Sexton is the agent who basically reps every single coach. And Scott,
what was the other?
Scott Boras for baseball. Who does more harm?
Scott Boras.
You think Scott Boras does to baseball?
I think yes.
Okay.
Yeah. What does Jimmy Sexton do? He gets the top coaches paid.
Yeah, I mean,
universities are the ones that decide to have $80 million buyouts like idiots.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I also have some of the stuff that Boras says I actually agree with. So that's a hard one for me.
He's pro player, so
he's also very accurately calling out 25% of the sport who just don't spend money.
Yeah,
and that being a massive problem, and that's one of the biggest issues facing baseball.
Yeah,
that we just don't talk about a ton. So for that reason, I'll go Jimmy Sexton. Swag, who causes more harm?
I don't know that I don't think Boras causes the harm. It's probably Sexton.
What does Sexton do?
I think the constant, and it's not fully his fault, so it's unfair to put it on him. He's representing his interest. But
so is Boras. I mean, they're both doing
I don't think Scott Boras causes any harm. That's my point. Now, you can accurately ask what harm does Sexton cause, and that's a fair question.
I don't think either one of them. It goes back to...
The constant coaching carousel stuff is more annoying for me to deal with than the idea of guys getting paid in Major League Baseball, I guess, is what I would say. Partially because of the time of year, and that's also not either of them's fault. It's happening in the middle of the season, which is not fun to go through. Last one, mailsack question. How are you today? Anything you need to vent about, or is life good? Look at that. A personal question. Everything going okay?
Yeah.
Ooh. It's a loaded question.
That is.
I think so.
Yeah?
Basketball season's throwing me through a loop.
Yeah, it's almost over. We're probably near the finish line, right?
Yeah, we have one more tournament, and it's not for 2 more weeks.
Okay.
And it's at one of those, the season record-wise is not great, but the growth of the players has been good. But it's also, I realized this weekend, doing this and the practices and the tournaments and stuff, man, I haven't had a lot of like date nights and stuff. Not been a lot of misses time.
No.
I think me and my wife realized that this weekend. And it hit me like a ton of bricks of just
time to all right.
Yeah, from November, late November to March is the season. That's a long time.
It's a long time. It's a long grind.
So other than that, everything.
Especially football season going on at the same time too, which also sucks up a lot of time as well.
Yeah.
From a work standpoint, yeah.
There's also I'm in a little bit of a vacation slump. Like I don't know what to do for vacation. Do I go to Hawaii? Do I want to spend that kind of money or hold on to the monies?
Yeah, go to the coast, but it's too simple and basic.
Well, also the weather could suck, and then it's like, I like a stormy coast, but it's like, hey, what'd you do for a week? I was in a hotel all day.
Sure, not quite the same.
Yeah, my kids want to go to the East Coast. I don't know about that.
East Coast is fun. I would advocate if you're looking for a summer trip, one that you haven't done yet, East Coast would be a good one. Because I think your kids are old enough to understand things and enjoy things.
My daughter wants to go to New York mainly because she's got two best buds going to New York.
Sure.
And I wouldn't go when they're there. It's more about I'd never been there, so I want to explore.
Yeah. It's easy to hop city to city. You can catch out. I mean, I don't know how interested they are in going to a baseball game, but go check out a baseball game and walk around a stadium.
My kids would hate that.
Sure, you're out on that one.
They hate baseball.
In-person Major League games or just on TV?
They're out. They're so
even if they're
bored.
just eating cotton candy and running around, they don't.
Yeah, that's 2 innings. Yeah. That cotton candy's gone in 2 outs. What do you mean innings?
Because not having the baseball, are they into any sort of historical things?
I think they'd be interested, but you'd have to.
Because as a history buff, it's very fun to go to the East Coast.
Yeah, but I'd also have to find. Do I take my kids to Hershey Park?
I've been to Hershey Park. It's okay.
You get a couple roller coasters and some chocolate. Yeah. It's more. We're going to the Twix left-right factories. I don't know. Which one do you go to? You go left, you go to right?
Yeah. I'm with you there. East Coast is fun because you can do a lot of things in a short amount of time because everything's so close. It's one of the few pockets of the country that's almost European in that regard. You fly to Europe and you can kind of jump, you can do a bunch because it's all so compacted. So you could go to Boston, Philly, and then even you can go to D.C. and go see the Capitol if you want. It's not that far away.
Right, we
drove from Philly to West Virginia one time. Drive through West Virginia, that's a hell of a journey.
And as great as that can be, I'd be terrified that I'm going to get eaten alive.
The wild whites are out there, man.
As great as all that is, can you beat Hawaii?
No, Hawaii's undefeated.
No, it's about
a month away from going. I'm looking forward to it every day, dude.
Oh, I hate you.
What's the purpose of the vacation? Is it to sit and relax and decompress, or is it an adventure and we want to go
very different vacations? That's a great point.
I think when you have young kids, there's not a decompress.
No.
That's a mommy-daddy trip.
Now, let me ask you this, though. If you took your kids to Hawaii, like the place we're going, we're staying in a condo when we go at the end of next month, and we are they have a pool in the complex.
Yeah.
And so we're obviously not of the age where we can just go sit there and let him play. He's not quite old enough yet. Now, he'll get in the pool, but you got to be with him and all that jazz. Are your kids of the age, if you went and sat by a pool, would they just swim in the water for 9 straight hours? Are they those kind of kids?
Or do they need
because my brother kids are that way.
Hour.
When he goes, they'll just literally sit there all day, and the kids will go crazy. After it'd be like 4 hours, it's like, all right, let's go get lunch. All right, go back and play, and they don't do anything.
They can be. The problem I have, though, is, one, that's boring to me to be at a pool. I'm in Hawaii. Why are we at a pool?
Well, go to the beach then. Go sit on the sand.
Yeah. Is there a
now I'm hensing your struggle here. Now I'm getting why this is complicated.
Here's the thing: is there a controlled area for the ocean? The ocean takes people out.
You're fine.
What do you mean? What
are they? Swigard swim 500 yards out?
The ocean might take them 500 yards out.
They're not getting taken out. How many kids die in the ocean every year in Hawaii?
I don't
Google that.
I've never looked it up. I can't. I'm just saying, there's all these.
That's an irrational
fear.
That's ridiculous.
100%. There's an irrational fear there. We went to Maui in 12 and got married. We went specifically to one section of beach, and we swam and snorkeled all day.
Yeah,
it was our last day. When we flew back the next day, the headline in Maui at that exact beach was, "Woman in Lake Oswego had her leg bitten off by a tiger shark." That was the same area we swam in 24 hours before.
Yeah, you're fine.
So I can't help but have those thoughts in my head. I'm irrational. I'm sorry that I'm irrational.
Not that many kids die.
Don't wrap me up. We don't have Italy on our brains.
I didn't even get to talk about how I'm doing.
You said you were fine and you moved on.
I didn't say anything.
You said I got Hawaii.
Now you're putting the words in my mouth. I'm not okay, actually. I had a really long weekend, but I won't talk about it.
What happened?
Talk about your vacation.
What happened?
No, nothing. I don't want to talk about it. We got to go.
Traumatizing? You got crapped on, didn't you?
We got to cut. We got to go. Time's up. Allotment's over.
Yeah.
Let's get to. Actually, I don't know what we're going to do next. We'll spin the wheel
I
of
want to know
Destiny.
what your problems are.
And maybe we'll get to my problems. F update is first, though. Now.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, little update from Milano Cortina. Men's hockey started the knockout round. Czechia leading Denmark 3-2 in the third period. Earlier, the U.S. men's team pursuit at the speed skating oval, taking the silver medal behind the home country, Italy. The U.S. men's curling team dropped one to China, 8-5. They gave up 3 in the final end. While the women blew out Denmark 10-3.
Shout out to Thermo King. Happy Black History Month, everybody. Frederick McKinley Jones in 1940 is the creator of the refrigerated truck. He took out 60 patents throughout his life, including a patent for the roof-mounted cooling system that was used to refrigerate goods on trucks to help us transport cold foods.
Look at that. We didn't talk about it on Friday because I haven't before we got off the air. Chris Paul retired officially from the NBA. Not shocking anybody.
How much of a goodbye tour was it?
I mean, whatever, dude. See you later, CP3. I don't care. Can I give you this crazy fact, though? This is kind of cool. An actual all-time great player. Remaining 2003 draftees, LeBron James. You know how many players remain from the 2004 draft in the NBA?
None.
0. You know how many players remain from the 2005 draft in the NBA?
None.
0. You know how many players remain from the 2006 draft?
None.
1. Kyle Lowry.
Kyle Lowry.
How many from the 2007 draft are still in the NBA?
Is that KD?
KD, Al Horford, Conley, and Jeff Green, so 4. How many left from the 2010 draft in the NBA?
3. 1?
Paul George is the only one.
Wow.
More Olympic Black History Month and NBA draft stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigart from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Heard missing work insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for
Overslept, almost lost a job in the top.
All right, welcome back in. By the way, Patrick Harris confirming no YouTube, friends. No YouTube. So you got to do it the old-fashioned way or podcast it. It will be podcasted, so if you can't listen to it live tonight, Timbers Fan begins with him and Jake Zivin.
I give him a lot of grief, but I'm looking forward to old Stumps and his debut of the Timbers Fan. It's going to be a good show. He's super plugged in. He's going to be at Media Day.
He's going to be there tomorrow. He's missing his show to go to Media Day tomorrow.
Dude, he's my education on the Timbers. I'm trying to learn about the Timbers.
Should we have him on as our Timbers insider?
I think we should.
I'll give you a hot take.
Every other week,
I think the Timbers have beat my Premier League team at this point.
Yeah.
We're on our fourth manager in a season.
You guys stink, huh?
We're terrible. Yeah. Let's not talk about that. How are you doing?
How are you?
I mean, I'm all right.
You made it sound like your weekend was a disaster.
It was pretty bad, dude. I'm dealing with a 2-year-old at the peak of being a 2-year-old right now, and every moment of my life sucks.
I can't wait for you to second kid.
Yeah. It's horrible. It's horrible. And I know that it's not, people with multiple kids are like, oh, they're complaining about one. Like, I get it, but my life sucks, dude. It genuinely sucks.
That stage
it's separation anxiety every night. We were up on Sunday night. I'm not kidding you. He woke up at 11:50, right as I was dozing off, because I'm like, hey, I don't have to work tomorrow. Let's stay up a little bit later tonight. This is great. This is glorious. Let's bask in the wonderful nature of not having to wake up at 4 a.m. Before I even fell asleep, he woke up, and I'm pretty sure he was up for 3 straight hours on Sunday night into Monday. So then I woke up. My wife had to work yesterday and went to bed somewhere around 3 a.m. He woke up at 7:15 because my dog jumped off the bed and barked at something. God knows what. Woke him up, woke me up. So that was wonderful timing. And then the rest of the day was just, yeah. Life's going great.
All right.
It's going good.
Sorry.
I'm in a house with all girls, so half the time I'm the bad guy. I got the wife and the daughters just teaming up, destroying Dad, he's cringe. He's terrible. What's wrong with your face? I get half the time. That's just my face. I don't know what to do about that. You look miserable.
Spent a lot of time in Arnie's lately.
Like going out in the garage.
I added some gym lights though. It's made it a lot better. But yeah, Arnie's is getting better. I hear you.
He'll be a club.
Look, it's not the end of the world. He's wonderful, and he gives you smile. Like it's,
you
don't
need to do that.
I know. We all get it. Right?
You love your
kid.
All get it.
We all love it, kid. Yeah. It's just there's moments,
They're
man.
They're so worth it.
Every stage, you're like, hey, if we just get through this stage, it'll be a little bit easier.
Yeah, it's gonna get worse.
And then you get through that stage, and you're like, Jesus, dude, I didn't foresee that new set of circumstances.
It's gonna get worse, actually.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you that. He may not be sleeping in your bed forever, but like eventually he'll be 8 and he'll tell you to piss off, and you're like, you're 8. Do I still spank you?
Y'all don't do that.
Is that how it works?
Am I allowed to do that? Is that allowable?
Hi.
Under the Geneva Conventions, is spanking still allowed?
Andy, this is Sarah from Teddy's school. I just want to let you know, he just stabbed a kid in the hand with a pencil.
One of these days I'm going to film the process.
That kid deserve it?
Yeah, he probably did, dude. Don't talk back to my kid, man. The process of us just trying to, like, get out of the house, I'd love to film it one day. When I'm watching him by myself of, like, hey, buddy, it's nice out. Let's take the dog for a walk. This is very, very simple stuff.
How many bags of crap do you haul?
It's not even that. It's just, like, I'm not kidding you. When it takes, like, 30 minutes to go through the process of change. We got to put some pants on. We don't have pants on right now. Where are your pants? We got to put pants on.
Pantless.
You got to put your pants on. We need a shirt. We need a sweatshirt because it's chilly out. You got your beanie on. We got to have our beanies. We got to put our socks on.
Sure.
And everything is just a 10-round TKO, knock him out, drag him out fight.
And he's going to win.
And then by the time you get outside, you're like, I don't even want to go for a walk anymore. And then you miss your window. Now it's raining and the sun is gone. It's disappeared.
There's the guy who plays Gabe in The Office at the later seasons, the skinny guy. You remember who I'm talking about?
Yes.
That actor has a hilarious bit on social media where he talks about how soft the generation. He goes, back in my day, my dad caught me with a Tamagotchi when I wasn't supposed to be playing with my Tamagotchi. So he calls up my best friend, and he brings him on. He goes, you're going to fire his dad today. And that was my punishment. I had to fire my best friend's dad, and I lost my Tamagotchi for 2 weeks.
Damn it!
But now these kids get soft, parenting or whatever it's called. It's like hilarious pointing that out.
So things are going great. Having a great time. There you go. That's what's wrong with me. So that's all we got. Swag, everything good with you?
Dude, he's got the easiest.
Great.
Yeah, Swag's doing great.
We did have.
He's got nothing but time on his hands. Pilots, which is a passion thing for him. He enjoys doing it.
I was tough. It was a pork butt or prime rib this weekend. Wife was gone all weekend. Can't live.
That's right. Your wife was gone, wasn't she? Didn't you have a solo? Is that happening? Didn't you say she was going somewhere? Or was that you?
No, I'm making up a story.
I thought you told us that you
That was him.
Was that you?
No,
that
she's
were
not
be the
going
Baxter?
anywhere. She's getting ready. She's got another performance thing she's doing this week.
Yeah, his wife has She's gone.
Just passing ships in the night, just
No,
working different
Sunday
hours.
was great.
And
Sunday was we were
wine
just
tasting and
both.
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah.
charcuterie boards.
The hardest thing in his life is getting the producers to update promotional commercials.
That
And that's a bit of a pain in the ass. I'm not
I could
gonna lie.
use a couple extra hours this week. I
Okay,
have-
got a lot going on this week.
well,
it's
we
tough
got
for him.
Pilots home Wednesday, Pilot women at Oregon State Thursday night, and then the.
Oh, are you
men-
out this week? You're
No,
out
I'll be
Friday.
here because the game's early. It's a 6:00 start, and so the bus will be back. And then
The
I
bus
leave.
will be back. What time
And
are
then
you going?
Friday I leave because the men and women play a doubleheader at Seattle U on Saturday.
That's a long one.
That's tough.
That's a split. It's 1 and 7.
Oh,
That's brutal.
Kids won't let you sleep after those trips.
oh, that's tough.
So I'm hanging out in their Seattle U's. Their gym is worse than most high school gyms.
Is it that
barely seats 800 people.
I've only seen it on TV.
Well, they play half their games at Climate Pledge,
Yeah, I've seen the non-climate pledge.
but no,
games,
their
yeah.
on-campus gym might seat
Horrible.
800 people.
His problems are not your problems.
No, they are
is
not.
the
No.
point we're getting at there.
Somebody texted in to me, goes, I'll get both of you. I got 2 girls and a boy. Girls are 10 and 8. I'm always the problem, and my boy is 1.5 years old, and he wakes up 2 to 3 times a night. Look at that. The rare case of somebody who gets both sides of the coin. Both of you are right. This sucks.
That's why I snipped and didn't go 3.
No, thank you. All right, let's wrap it up on a Tuesday. We'll do it next on The Fan.
FM and 1080 AM.
There's something happening here.
All right, not a lot of time left in our Tuesday. Good to be back. Lots going on over the last 3 days to catch up on. Can we end with a funny note about a company that I am very opposed to? And we talked about this company the week of the Super Bowl. Did you see what Fanatics did this weekend?
Something dumb.
No.
Their latest blunder from the good old Fanatics.
I keep getting barraged. I bought two Kraken hats.
How many emails are you getting a day?
And I get 2 or 3 a day, and they're telling me, 60% off of this and whatever. And I'm
unsubscribe. They'll be right back.
I mean, just you can't do it. I'm somehow still getting one. I've never bought anything Mets related in my entire life, and somehow there's an MLB Mets website that sends me an email every Mets.com/shop gives me 5 emails a week. I have clicked unsubscribe.
Yeah.
Every time they send it, I click it, and they still come.
We need to have the Supreme Court hear a case of when we hit unsubscribe, if you're in my mailbox ever again,
I should be able to
you
sue
owe me
you.
$1 million.
Yes.
I mean, I'm
going to sue your ass.
I have so many companies. It's why my mailbox has 20,000 emails.
Emailing me.
I can't keep
love
up.
Of God. No.
I can't keep up.
Fanatics is just, they're horrible. Anyways, this weekend, they accidentally unveiled a new logo for an NFL team.
We got a new logo coming.
We have a new logo coming in the National Football League.
The Titans, right?
The Titans had to release their helmet design, a new logo, because Fanatics accidentally put a Pegasus Player Pal plush ball, for those wondering, it's just a furry little plush football, that had the new Titans logo on it, and they put it up on their website.
They're stealing the Oiler look.
And people looked at it, and they were like, wait a minute.
They own that. That is
why is
that's
this in the
franchise.
Titans category? And then everybody started asking the Titans, like, hey, what's up with this new logo that's on Fanatics? And they were like, no comment. And then it got so loud that they had to be like, here's our new logo, guys. We're releasing new logos. So the Titans are going through a rebrand, and it was leaked because Fanatics doesn't know how to do their job.
I imagine there were some people at Fanatics that are no longer working at Fanatics.
So it's basically the Oiler colors.
It's a good look.
Yeah, it's a better look than what they've created when they moved. I would say this.
I wasn't a fan of their dark blue. I like a lighter shade of blue.
I've never liked the Titans.
No.
I've never liked the uniform. I think the flaming T logo is awful. Never been a fan of it.
I like the sword whenever they got the sword in there as opposed to the flame.
I'll say this. Why did Houston not just come back as the Oilers?
Because they don't own the rights to the.
So the Titans owned the rights to the Oilers, even though they were never going to be the Tennessee Oilers.
I believe so.
Because that's egregious.
How does that work in a case-by-case basis? That's a fascinating question.
Well, why did the Thunder keep all of the Sonics history?
But do they get it back when the Sonics come back?
It's usually part of the relocation agreement because the league still has to approve you relocating.
Because the Cleveland got the Browns back after losing the Browns.
Yeah, same thing with Clay Bennett moving the Thunder. So Seattle, if a team ever comes back to Seattle, they still own the Sonics.
Make an argument Cleveland
rights.
should have come back as something else.
Yeah, maybe they'd have a better run.
So I don't know. Usually when the league approves a relocation, those specifics are part of that relocation approval.
But Oiler, I mean, Texan.
I know.
Ugh.
I know.
That logo. Oh.
Because you spend years or months planning this unveil, and then all of a sudden there's just a plush ball leaked on Fanatics. Like, dude, that was our whole offseason marketing strategy down the drain.
Speaking of destinations for Tyreek Hill, Tennessee Titans.
Oh,
come on down.
Come on down, Robert Saleh. There you go. If you're missing the show, go check the podcast, 1051thefan.com, 1051thefan on Twitter, at Dirt and Sprague on Twitter. We'll tweet it out here as soon as we're done. Thanks for watching on YouTube. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. That will do it for us. Don't forget, coming up later tonight after primetime, the debut edition of Timbers Fan with Patrick Harris and Jake Zivin. Looking forward to listening to that later on this evening. But next is The Firm with Harris and Meringue. We will talk to you tomorrow at 6 a.m. You're listening to 1051 FM The Fan.